name, recall, recognize, record, relate, repeat, and underline. For the understanding, understanding means constructing meaning from different types of functions. The active verbs that we can use are choose, cite examples of, demonstrate, use of, describe, determine, differentiate between, discriminate, discuss, explain, express, give in own words. Then we have another is identify, interpret, locate, pick, report, restate, review, recognize, select, tell, translate, respond, practice, stimulate. And for applying or application, which is using learned materials or to implement material in new and concrete situation. The active verbs are apply, demonstrate, dramatize, employ, generalize, illustrate, interpret, operate, operationalize, practice, relate, schedule, shop, use, utilize, initiate. So, daghan kaayo pwede gamiton ng mga active verbs. Then, analyzing or breaking materials or concepts into parts, determining how the parts relate to one another or how they interrelate or how the parts relate an overall structure or purpose. No, na po yung mga active verbs there. So, yun na ako na siya, isa-isang kidaghan kaayo, no? Then, we have evaluating, making judgments based on criteria and standards through checking and critiquing. Then creating, putting elements together to form a coherent or functional whole, reorganizing elements into a new pattern or structure through generating. Okay, since learning outcomes are built from the content and performance content standards, we have to observe these principles. Number one, just like what I said earlier, they should be achievable. The number two, they should be appropriate. Number three, they should be aligned with the learning competencies. So, muna siya ang dapat nato i-remember or dapat nato i-observe. Okay, we have here illustrations of practice. Dali lang ko sa ano ka na applicable kay Umandiri for junior high school. This one. Okay, setting appropriate and achievable products and performance targets. So, learning outcomes can be specific products or performance targets that our learners to demonstrate, diba, everything we make our lesson plan, we always set our objective safe, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bounded. So products generally refer to varied concrete evidences of learning, while performance targets are the expected skills that our learners should demonstrate at any instructional activity. These are the expected skills that our learners must apply or must practice. Okay, we have here, Teacher Mona Lisa sees the connection of these competencies enabling her to set a learning outcome after the unit. One that is clear demonstration of the integration and application of the previously taught competencies. So she sets the learning outcome in terms of product and performance target through which the learners can demonstrate the knowledge and skills they have learned. For the grade 5 science quarter 1. Unit standard. At the end of the unit, Learners recognize that when mixed together, materials may not form new ones. Thus, these materials may be recovered using different separation techniques. So for day one, ang iyang giset na learning outcomes is the learner should be able to identify the appearance and use uniform and non-uniform mixtures. So the verb, ang iyang key verb is describe. Cognitive level, remembering. So for day 2 and 3, the learner should be able to enumerate the techniques in separating mixtures such as decantation, evaporation, filtering, sieving, and using magnets. So ang key verb is enumerate. So what is the cognitive level? Remembering pa rin. For day 4, the learner should be able to tell the benefits of separating mixtures from products in community. So ang key verb is tell. Ang cognitive level, still remembering. Then learning outcome. Okay, the learner should be able to write a report on beneficial mixtures at home. Then ang product, written report, performance target, writes a report. Ang product niya mo na to siya katong written report based sa iyahang performance target po. Okay, the key verb is write, then cognitive level, remembering. Okay, while setting the learning outcomes, teacher Mona Lisa considers and answers these key questions before setting or while setting the learning outcomes. Number 1, is the learning outcome appropriate? Yes. Why? It focuses on a relevant knowledge and skill. Di ba? Kaganina ay kung giingon na relevant siya. So appropriate. Now, this is evident through the rightful selection of the product and performance target. So, ang mga products get na imun sa syempre, appropriate siya. Number 2, is the learning outcome achievable? Yes. Why? Because it is which of learners, no? Within sa level lang po sa mga learners from grade 5. Okay, number 3, is the learning outcome aligned with the learning competency? Yes. It describes knowledge and skill in a similar cognitive level. Okay. So to set the learning outcomes for a longer span of instruction, consider the following as cited by Popenick and Miller in 2015. Number 1, think about what students should be able to know or do after the unit or quarter. Or refer to the grade level standards in the curriculum guide. So naman sa itong MELS ang mga standards, no? Content standards. Okay, then number 2, indicate the main skills, abilities, and knowledge they will acquire. So what particular skills do you want them to acquire? Okay, number 3, with the okay, right at the back, start mag-jutag at the end of the unit or end of the student should go to objective. Number 4, avoid verbs susceptible to different interpretations of what actions they require. This type of verb indicates in general behaviors that cannot be objectively measured. So, mean to say, dapat specific din siya. Katong ganina, ang hatag na ako na example. Ano yung mga general, know, understand, become aware of, appreciate, learn. These are general behaviors, in general behaviors. You hear simple and size sentences can be understood by students, peers, teachers, school administrators, and other stakeholders. So dito sa learners na use clear, simple, and concise sentences that can be understood by students. Kay maggamit-gamit ka darag mga onan ba grade 1 yung mga estudyante yung mga ginagamit na mga words mga lisod kaayo magpa-spelling kag mga supercalifragilisticexpialidocious so dili gyud na masabtan sa mga grade 1. So clear, simple lang, and concise sentences and words. Okay, as in the presented teacher practice, teacher Lisa has set learning as the unit, one learning outcome. So however, the number of the learning outcomes will also vary according to the level of study and desired outcomes. Therefore, there is no set or good number of learning outcomes after any instructional activity. The only valid criteria are to set the number of learning outcomes that are able to be supported and enhance the learning to provide optimum alignment with content resources. So, mag-list naman po dito sa tuang MELCs. Okay. So, di na ako niya siya pilon. Kaya mga higher na last one. Okay, so learning outcome for effective domain. With this performance standard for edukasyon sa pagpapakatao grade 1, na ipapakita ang kakayahan ng may tiwala sa sarili, teacher sets learning outcomes that will enable her pupils to demonstrate the abilities and talents through different ways na pwede. Through singing, dancing, reciting at home, acting, etc. So, kanang as long as ma-demonstrate sa mga batang ilang abilities and talents. So to set the outcome for the effective domain, you should consider Bloom's levels of processes. Okay, so we have receiving, attending to a stimulus. Example, Annie is listening to instructions or kanang setting of standards by the teacher. Acting to stimulus. Example, participating in a discussion. Then valuing, attaching value to an object, phenomenon, behavior, demonstrate appreciation here. So, i-include ko nato ni siya ang kanin, i-remind nato ni always at mga learners ka ng good teamwork. Then organization, organizing different values into the beginning of an internally consistent value system. Example, adopt a systematic approach to problem solving. So organization. Then characterizing, internalizing a value system and behaving accordingly in a pervasive, consistent, and predictable manner. Example, display self-reliance, work independently, and diligently, act ethically. So, importante could ni siya po, no? So, for each level, here are sample action verbs that you can use to set the learning outcome. Okay, we have receiving. The active verbs are ask, choose, describe, follow, give, etc. Then responding, valuing, organizing. So, muna siya sa affective domain. Kaganina, physical domain. Okay. For the learning outcome for psychomotor domain, na po psychomotor. So as part of this instructional plan in PE for grade 8, for grade 8 students, teacher Mark tells his students to prepare a daily physical activity program. For the class learning outcome, he sets in combination of his weekly instruction. So for the psychomotor domain, specified 7 levels are from lowest order processes to highest. So lower, did mag-start no? to higher. So number one, we have perception, using sense organs to obtain cues about a motor activity. Siyempre, sense organ kayo, diba, to perceive things. Then set, demonstrating readiness to take a particular action. Example, explain the series of steps involved in a process. So step by step. Then number three, guided response, early stage of learning a performance skill, including imitation and trial and error. So, masahit magtulog po da kani sa PE example na siya yung mga guide po ng mga videos no before na itudo sa mga bata ano sa teacher i-demonstrate sa niya. The number four, mechanism, later stage of learning a performance skill when it can be performed with proficiency. So follow the same procedure smoothly and confidently. Then complex overt response, skillful performance of a complex movement. Example, perform a routine procedure quickly o kanisya no ka na mga complex na ng mga movements. Pag maka-perform na sila ani. Then adaptation, skills that are so well developed that the individual can modify them to fit the situation. Example, alter a routine procedure to deal with an unfamiliar problem. Then, number seven, origination, creating new patterns based on highly developed skills. So there is origination ng sila created nila, mag-create lang sarili ng mga psychomotor na mag-create na nila sarili ng movements, ang origination. Okay. So these are the active verbs or of psychomotor. For the perception, we have choose, describe, detect, differentiate, distinguish, identify, isolate, relate, and select. Set, begin or display. Move, proceed, act, shows. Volume guided response, we have copy, trace, o guided pa man sa so copy, trace, follow, react, reproduce, respond. Then mechanism, assemble, calibrate, construct, dismanipulate, measure, mend, mix, organize, and sketch. Then complex overt response, same as mechanism but includes adverbs such as speaker. So mas ano na siya kay ni-level up na siya sa mechanism. Such as speaker, more accurate than automatic. Then adaptation, adapt, alter, rearrange, reorganize, revise, vary, and change. Then origination, arrange, build, combine, compose, or no, construct, create, design, initiate, make, originate. Those are examples of motor. So, ito lang jud ako ang topic for this afternoon. So, thank you very much for listening. Ma'am Joy. Yes.
Thank you, Ma'am Joy. So, reminder lang for our attendance link after na-send naman. Please do not forget to log in. Okay, next. Our next discussant this afternoon to discuss about the Module 23. Let's call in the Master Teacher of San Miguel Integrated School, Ma'am Elmira Cata.
Hi, good afternoon. My courtesy to our PSDS, Dr. Leonida A. Palentinos, to all the school heads of Group 1 who are present today, my fellow government servants, good afternoon. Hello and welcome to Module 23. Okay, let me share to you my screen. Okay, welcome to Module 23. Together, we will run through this module in which we will find instructive illustrations of practice anchored on the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, or often called as PPST, intended to help teachers' current practice. This module focuses on the strand on professional links with colleagues under Indicator 7.3.2, which is to participate in professional networks, to share knowledge, and to enhance practice. Okay, there are key concepts in this module. So we have 4 key concepts. We have participation, professional sharing of knowledge, and enhancement of practice. As we go along the way, these words are oftenly used in this module. So participation is understandable. Then let's talk about professional network. This is a connected community of educators which may also exist online that provides teachers with opportunities to develop professional knowledge and or practice. This is very timely today, mostly because we are not allowed for face-to-face. So mostly our connections, our resources are coming from our friends, not necessarily within our school, but it can be in the other division, in the other regions, or even in the national or international level. The next one is the sharing of knowledge. This refers to an activity through which information, skills, or expertise is selflessly imparted to colleagues and other stakeholders to enrich the teaching learning practice. The last one is the enhancement of practice. This is the enrichment of teachers' manner or habit in the delivery of instruction. It reflects the teacher's actions to improve knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes as they perform their duties and responsibilities in teaching. Now, this time, we will move on to the illustration of practices. Okay. Illustration of practice number 1. In your screen, you could notice that there are people with lots of connections. These connections, just like as what I have said, it doesn't necessarily that they are just your friends. So it can be from the other divisions and other districts and whatsoever. Now, a professional network is a connected community of educators. As part of a curriculum and planning, proficient teachers should participate in collegial discussions that use teacher and learner feedback to enrich teaching practice. Now let us see or how Teacher Kat, a junior high school teacher, participate in various professional networks. So meron tayong scenario dito. Okay. So illustration of practice 1.1, which is participating in learning action set is for quite a long time. So what does it mean? LAC is a group of teachers who engage in collaborative learning sessions to solve shared challenges encountered in the school facilitated by the school head or a designated LAC leader. LACs will become school-based communities of practice that are positive, caring, and safe spaces. So under DepEd Order number 35, series of 2016. Okay, so that is 1.1. Now we'll move on to illustration of practice 1.2. Okay, this is it. Teacher Kat also participates in online communities for educators that she can access anytime and anywhere. So, what is online teacher communities? What can they offer? They offer ways for new and veteran educators to keep up with industry trends. These communities encourage teachers to collaborate and share resources with colleagues, discuss teaching strategies, and connect with experts in the education field. Joining a teacher community can also help teachers find resources to chart a professional development plan. So what are the examples of this online teacher communities? So we have the DepEd Ako, the Guru, the DepEd Tambayan, and many more. So how to do it? Syempre, you need to be usually in these online communities, you need to be a member of a certain online community. Then you need to sign up. Then after signing up, you can explore posts that are relevant to your lesson about advocacy campaigns and any related subject matters that you are going to teach. You can also post, you can also share your knowledge. Professionals in this group may interact with one another by sharing posts and comments. By participating in this online professional network, Teacher Kat was able to gain knowledge about project-based learning, which she considered using in her lesson about advocacy campaigns to make her learners' learning more authentic and relevant. Now, as a proficient teachers, we are expected to participate in what we call the INSET or the in-service training for teachers and other professional teacher organizations. Okay, what do we mean by INSET? This is defined as the relevant courses and activities in which a serving teacher may participate to upgrade his or her professional knowledge, skills, and competence in the teaching profession. Therefore, it, in, in, it in all forms of education and training given to a teacher who is already on the job of teaching and learning. Professional teacher organization. They offer knowledge and membership benefits to students, graduates, and teachers. There are professional teacher organizations for nearly every subject matter and educational specialty, and the majority offer publications, newsletters, and expert information relating to their association's specific focus. Moving on. We will now have illustration practice number 2, which is called the sharing knowledge through professional networks. Okay. Teacher Kat believes that knowledge is meant to be shared. So, she takes every chance to learn from distinguished and highly proficient teachers as well as from her peers to share the knowledge she gained among her colleagues. So this is sharing knowledge in LAC session through focus group discussion. So every time we have our inset or even seminars, usually we do FGD or the focus group discussion. Now, at the end of the FGD session, Teacher Kat was very happy of the knowledge she imparted and learned from her colleagues. So there are different ways to successfully share knowledge in FGD sessions. Okay, how to do it? Okay, there are 5 recommended steps. Number 1, you have to listen attentively and follow carefully the instructions of the FGD facilitator. He or she may discuss the purpose of the FGD, confidentiality and information, ethical considerations, process of the group discussions, and ground rules. So in this part, clarification must be made before the FGD facilitator asks the first questions to be discussed. Okay, number 2, when given the turn to share opinion, make sure to take some time to think before answering the questions. Try to address all the issues without simply repeating what was already said. So, in FGD, listening is very important. So that there will be no repetitions of questions. Then number 3, remain tactful in asserting strong opinions, especially as response to others' ideas, which may be disagreeable to you. Number 4, take note of salient points. There may be a need to make clarification as to whether the essence of the discussion or not in order to meet some general agreement. And consider the results of the FGD session to guide your future actions, especially in the enhancement of teaching practice. So, whatever do you think that went wrong during your FGD experience, that will be the basis for your improvement on the next FGD discussions that you will have. Now, moving on, we will move to illustration of practice 2.2, the sharing knowledge by co-planning lessons. 23. Okay, here. So in your monitor, you can see the lesson plan of Teacher Kat. Lesson planning is sometimes difficult to do by just one teacher. The subject matter may be too difficult, or the teacher is new to the curriculum, standards, or grade level. This challenging situation may be seen as an opportunity to collaborate with colleagues instead. So dito na yung papasok yung mayroong tayong partner. One effective way of sharing knowledge and experiences with colleagues is through co-planning lessons. Co-planning is where 2 teachers who are going to teach together decide how they will implement instruction to meet the needs of all learners. During the planning process, the general goals of the lesson are developed along with ways to meet the academic or behavioral needs of individual learners. Now, how to do it? How to make sharing knowledge by co-planning become more effective? So, there are 6 suggested steps. Number 1, if planning lessons as a team, give each member a clearly defined set of responsibilities according to the individual's strengths. The idea is for each team member to choose an area where he or she feels knowledgeable and has valuable ideas to contribute. So wag niyo naman po bigyan siya kung saan ang weakness niya, yun ang ibigay niyo sa kanya. So parang sinabi dito kung ano yung strength niya, yun ang ibigay mo sa kanya. Number 2, keep co-planning meeting on track with a planning template and an effective leader. A planning template may be given by the grade level leader prior to the meeting. Each member brainstorms a number of effective strategies, activities for teaching each skill in the coming week or unit. So, meron dito tayong parang tinatawag natin na trial and error. if this certain strategy is effective or not. So, may panahon pa na makapag-discuss ang dalawang teacher. Number 3, collaborate more effectively with the use of cloud storage data. Your team may use lesson planning website or application like Planbook, which offers a collaborative planning opinion, or any other apps. Pwedeng Google Drive, pwedeng Google Docs, pwedeng Google Spreadsheets. So colleagues can add comments or make edits if you allow them to, which means each person can offer input on lesson plans at a time that is convenient for him or her. Number 4, make the best of whatever your co-planners can offer and consider their lessons a framework for your own. So you have to accept the lesson plans your team members provide and simply leave out the parts you don't want to implement, inserting your own ideas instead. Number 5, create your own separate co-planning strategies apart from your grade level team. Co-planning with just 1 or 2 colleagues you respect is also an effective strategy. Partner up with a colleague whose teaching style is mostly similar to yours and split the work of fine-tuning and final lesson plans. And lastly, you can also look for someone outside your school to team up with another teacher in your division. Even if you don't currently know another great local teacher in your grade or subject area, you can seek them online via different platforms. So ito na yung sinasabi ko na it doesn't necessarily mean that they are your friends, they are your co-teachers, but you can seek help even coming from the different division or even in the national level. Now, let's move on to illustration of practice number 3. Okay. Enhancing practice through professional networks. As a proficient teacher, we participate in professional networks not only to share knowledge, but also to enhance practice. Okay, in the illustration in your screen, it shows how proficient teachers effectively enhance practice through professional networks. So we have the illustration of practice 3.1, enhancing practice through collaborative teaching. One of the ways to enhance practice is through collaborative teaching. Sometimes it is called cooperative teaching or team teaching. It involves educators working in tandem to lead, instruct, and mentor groups of learners. Teachers together set goals for a subject, prepare individual lessons, teach learners, and evaluate the results. They share insights, argue with one another, and perhaps even challenge learners to decide which approach is better. Okay, there are a lot of things to consider to make a collaborative teaching effective. So there are 7 recommended steps. Okay, number 1, respect each other. Ito talaga yung pinaka-importante. Mutual respect is so critical to co-teaching relationships. Share ideas openly and do much of your work facing learners together. It is okay to disagree with someone's ideas, but don't make the disagreement deals with the person. Kumbaga, walang personalan, trabaho lang. Number 2, clearly define roles and responsibilities. Co-teaching on who does what and prevent from feeling the other has overstepped a boundary or avoided responsibilities. So, kailangan meron talagang klarong responsibility sharing para walang sapawan. Number 3, be flexible. Though that is why so many teachers find themselves falling back on comfortable activities and strategies. So, mas pipiliin talaga yung napakadali at nakasanay na. Now, co-teaching allows you to gain another person's perspective on how instruction might be improved. So, pwede tayong makakuha ng mga ideas from our co-teacher. No? Meron siya mga strategy na hindi pa natin na-try and probably very effective to a certain lesson. Number 4, plan together. The co-teaching relationship brings together two people with wonderfully rich expertise and experiences. Co-teaching teams need ample planning time to work through how to best utilize their strengths. So hindi pwede na walang plano because we use co-teaching in order to improve the teaching and learning process. Kasi kapag minamadali natin, baka magkaroon tayo ng problema along the way. Baka yung strategy na ginamit ay hindi suited doon sa ating tinuturo. Or either, hindi naintindihan ng bata kung yung tinuturo natin because the strategy that we use is not fitted to a certain activity given to our students. Number 5, learn from your teaching experience. Innovation requires failure. Tama naman. So, hindi naman tayo lahat talaga perfect. Many times, teachers feel they have failed somehow during instruction, and in reality, the learners haven't even noticed. Hindi talaga nalaman ng mga bata na parang may mali doon sa ginawa natin or sa ginamit natin na strategy. We are often our own worst critics in reality. So, with that experience, we can revisit or correct something later in the day of what went wrong during the process. It means you have learned something, since this is the kind of ongoing learning we want to model for our learners. Number 6, communicate constantly. Planning time is one thing, constant communication is another. Not only should co-teachers frequently plan for what standards will be covered, how materials will be taught, and how learners will be assessed, they should also regularly communicate in less formal ways. So, kung ano yung nakita mo na sa tingin mo hindi mabuti, pwede mo mang sabihan ang yung co-teacher, what if we will try this one? So, we can do it in a nice way. Lastly, seek administrative support. Sometimes, teachers have been scheduled to co-teach by administrators but didn't have much advance notice. So parang napadali. If you and your partner don't have a common planning time when you can frequently collaborate, then ask for it. So you can ask your school head to give you time to discuss, to plan, and to talk with your co-teacher. You can go to your principal with a couple of proposals about how this can work without too much disruption of the rest of the schedule. So yun yung mga steps kung paano natin magamit effectively ang collaborative teaching. Now, we have here a scenario. Dito natin makikita how paano magagamit ang Module 23 sa ating CO. Okay. Yung observation result ni Teacher Kat. If you notice, Teacher Kat has just gone through her classroom observation assessment. She had 3 observers, including a master teacher, department head teacher, and the school principal. A copy of the inter-observer agreement form was handed to her as MOV. Now, in indicator 3, if you notice, so naka-red siya, ibig sabihin, diyan ngayon papasok ang module 23. So ano ba yung indicator 3? Applies a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking, as well as other higher skills. So yung first CO, based on the COT-RPMS Inter-Observer Agreement Form, Teacher Kat's participation in various professional networks paid off. She got mostly higher ratings, especially in the use of differentiated activities and ICT integration. However, she got a low rating in indicator number 3. She set new objectives of the enhancement of practice. She aimed to improve the indicator in which she had the lowest rating. Aside from participating in relevant school-based LAC sessions, Teacher Kat also took the initiative to choose from the DepEd advisories regarding training or seminar workshops to be conducted that focus on critical and creative thinking applications in the classroom. Okay. Here, after participating in the professional network, Teacher Kat applied what she learned from the activity in planning her lesson in teaching her class. So ito na yung lesson plan niya. Nandyan ang parts, no? Nandyan. Makikita dyan. Then, she had another observation. Ito na yung another classroom observation assessment na binigay kay Teacher Kat. Teacher Kat successfully used a range of teaching strategies to develop critical thinking and creative thinking, as well as the other higher order thinking skills among the learners. Now, if we are going to compare this with her first CO assessment, we can notice that her indicator 3 increases. Now, from 4, it becomes 7. From 5, it became 6. From 4 again, it became 7. And the final rating is 7. Let us accept the fact that teaching is not an individual career. It is impossible to work as a classroom teacher and be entirely removed from your peers and colleagues. So, dili gyud ta, no man is an island gyud ta diri sa atong profession. In fact, the strength of teachers often comes from their connections with other educational professionals. Now, as a proficient teacher, it is very essential that you lean on your fellow educators as well as learn from your experience to effectively impart knowledge and enrich teaching practice. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It is a strength, not a weakness. And also, when your school head requested you to attend seminars, workshops, and others, please learn not to say no. You can never get more by saying no. You can hold the current position by saying no, but you can only move forward by saying yes. Having seen and heard how indicator 7.3.2 can be achieved, we are now ready to think of strategies to help us participate in professional networks, to share knowledge, and to enhance practice effectively. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day. I'm done, Ma'am Joy.
So, let's check sa nato ato ang participant. Okay, mute na. Na. Okay, check muna nato atong attendance ha. Okay, upon checking this at this time we have 61 participants. So mag-roll call sa ha. Nawala na po niya sa isa. Okay, let's check sa nato attendance kay mura 59. So we are expecting 124. Pero siguro ang uban nga nag-on-site, isa lang ang ilahang gigamit, no? Kay gisod kayo ang signal. So for the Barakayo, yes, please. Barakayo, naapa ba? We are expecting 15.
Napa, ma'am. Napa mo na,
Hi, still alive and kicking pa, Barakayo. Okay, thank you, Barakayo teachers. Next, hello, Batulosa.
Yes, Ma'am Joy.
Hi, hello.
Joy.
Yes. Eko gyud, lisod gyud ang signal. Next, San Miguel Integrated School, 34. Are we all in? Okay pa ba? San Miguel? San Miguel? Oh, nag-share lang. Hello. Hi, San Miguel teachers.
Hello, Ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hi! Nakuha ko na bunog. Wow, ang saya-saya nila. Ikaw kayo ba? Kani, isa lang yun sila. Next.
Hi, hi, Ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yes. Next, Tagluno. Tagluno teachers. Hi, Tagluno. Hello. Napa ba ang Tagluno teachers or naglisod sa signal? Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Tagluno. Okay pa ba ang signal sa Tagluno? Tagluno, we are expecting 8. Siguro isa lang po ni sila. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Kompleto pa mo, sir. Okay, sir. Opo, sir. Okay. Ingat mo diya, sir. Next, Bangkas.
Okay pa mi day.
Buhay ka lang.
San Miguel, present.
Yes.
Bangkas, kompleto, naon kabuot.
Artemio Loyola teachers. Are we still alive?
Wala pa,
Walang
Ma'am
hi
Lod.
dyan.
Ma'am Lodi, na pa mi, ma'am.
Yes, hello. Okay pa ba? Okay pa ba? Tanan?
Okay, kayo.
magbasa or
Bukan na.
will learn.
Naman sila.
Okay, so I hope you learned something in the previous discussions. So ina lang mi kung paspas lang kaayo. So do not hesitate to share or to say something unsa ba diha after all we had the discussions. Okay, next. Our next discussant who will be sharing to us module 23, the master teacher 2, Ma'am Ana Bonita Castillo.
Bluetooth, sir, no? Ano sa man siya? Ay, connect lang. Nakay connector?
Malunod. Hello, good afternoon. Okay na, Joy? Hello? Hello?
Opo, okay na po.
Okay.
Si Tube Story nakamute na. Okay na po, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, to our district supervisor, Mrs. Leonida A. Polentinos, the principals of Group 1, and fellow teachers, good afternoon. My topic this afternoon is Module 24, develop a personal professional improvement plan based on reflection of one's practice and ongoing professional learning. Okay. Welcome to Module 24. This is Teacher Ray and Teacher Dulce. They are the members of the support group in this module, no? And they help to develop professional development plan based on our reflection of practice and ongoing professional learning. We might need our input here in order to us to perform well in our teaching practice. As we move along, let's consider this picture. Okay, this picture shows the Teacher Ray and Teacher Dulce. Okay, we will conduct personal professional reflection on your teaching practices to identify your level of capability and priority for development based on the objectives of self-assessment tool. Moreover, we will analyze the results of your self-assessment tool results-based performance management system, and we will develop a plan that incorporate activities and interventions that can enhance your professional learning. We will also look on how these interventions or activities can help address your priority for development or improve more on the area where your level of capability as a teacher is high. Proficient teachers, just like any other students, have unique learning styles. Each learning style requires the development of a personalized improvement plan. The different modalities of learning and development program, like learning and action cell, formal knowledge or skill transfer, relationship and discussion, based learning and job embedded learning need to develop into some more comprehensive professional development opportunities that which are going and aligned with the Philippine professional standards of teachers. Okay, let's focus the picture of this activity. Not teacher and sinagawa nila. They having a one-on-one one-on-one about the what they have planned, no? Dito na magpasok yung mga plano natin sa ating RPMS na malaman natin ang mga pangangailangan o nagamit natin ang ating mga plano na ginawa natin before, na na-achieve ba natin ang lahat, no? Dito sa itong picture na ito. Okay. Okay. To better appreciate the indicator, let us study the following key concepts in the context of this module. Knowing these concepts will help us gain a deeper understanding of the indicator and develop a personal professional improvement plan that will improve teaching practice. Okay. Before we go further, let us reflect our current practices regarding the preparation of the RPCRF development plan. Okay, are you ready? Kailan ba tayo dapat mag-start ng paggawa ng atin o ano natin yung IPCRF natin? By looking at the indicator, okay, this is teacher the example of teacher Dulce, knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Knowledge as a proficient teacher, I know that a development plan is prepared based on reflection of one's practice and is used for ongoing professional learning. Skills, as a proficient teacher, I do reflect on my teaching practice using the e-self-assessment tool and develop IPCRF development plan based on its result. And the attitudes, what I feel, I am more effective, reflective on my personal and professional teaching practice to know my level of capability and priority for development. Okay. Amazing, it was good reflection by Teacher Dulce. Okay. Tayo, meron ba? Ano ang mga reflection natin? No? Dapat meron din tayong reflection na isulat natin sa knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Okay, support group. Okay, hello, this is Teacher Ray. No? Teacher Ray have example, no? Example of the one-on-one Principal Rhea and Teacher Joanne. So I'm going to read the one-on-one of Principal Rhea and Teacher Joanne. Principal Rhea, based on the results of your SAT RPMS, what objective did you identify as your priority for development? Teacher Joanne, ma'am, the results of self-assessment shows that I have low level of capability and objective 2.3. It is about choosing differentiated, developmentally appropriate learning experiences to address learners' genders, needs, strengths, interests, and experiences. Principal Rhea, would you like to share with me your experiences and practices in the indicator and the reasons why you should think your level of capability is low? Teacher Joanne, this objective was actually one of the focus areas of my ICRF development plan last year. However, there were failures on my part to come up with a specific plan of action that will address the specific needs and diversity of learners in the classroom. I had always the tendency to use similar strategies and activities in all my classes, failing to consider their diverse needs and interests. I think I had to adjust my plan last year so that it will be more learner responsive and specific. Okay, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na meron tayong one-on-one na kailangan na pag-uusapan between sa principal natin at saka sa teacher. Pwede din yung master teacher na sino yung rater mo na siya ang magtatanong sa iyo, no? Kung ano yung mga plano mo last year, na nagamit mo ba o na-achieve mo ba lahat yung mga nakasulat na doon sa IPCRF mo. So, Principal Rhea, I am glad that you can reflect on your practices in the classroom. I am now challenging you to think of different strategies, intervention that will make your teaching better and will address the specific needs of your learners. Okay, no? Dili lang basta-basta lang magkuan. Kailangan every year pwede natin ipakita natin na gumagaling tayo sa pagtuturo para sa ating mga estudyante. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. After determining your areas of strength and priorities for improvement, you should discuss it with your principal, just like what Teacher Joanne did. No. Okay, ito na yung one natin na dapat usapan. Meron yung mga panibagong mga activities o mga plano para sa susunod na taon. You may wish to answer the following questions so that you can come up with your final plan of action for your personal professional improvement. Okay, meron tayo dito mga tanong. Okay. Preparation natin para sa ating IPCRF. Number 1, based on Teacher Joanne's meeting with Principal Rhea, what is her priority for development? What is her level of capability for the objective? Write your answer in the table below. So, meron na dyan tayo magsusulat para alam natin kung ano na ang ating mga plano. So, ano yung mga reflection natin? Number 2, what is the reflection of Teacher Joanne in terms of her practice of Objective 2.3? Number 3, should the teacher discuss the results of RPMS sat with the principal? Okay, bakit pinag-uusapan yun? No? Para meron tayong mga improvement. Meron tayong yung mga panibagong mga ano natin sa ating mga pagtuturo. Okay, suggestions for improvement. As teachers, we are on endless journey where we always look for new ideas and strategies to improve our skills, learn new information, all gears toward helping our learners to succeed. Okay, dili lang ta kung unsa na lang to ang ato ang kuan. Kung unsa na lang tong dati nato na pagtudlo sa atong mga estudyante, pwede tayo ano natin yung ating sarili para ma-improve tayo. Okay, it takes a lot of effort and hard work to improve as a professional teacher. Furthermore, it takes a lot of patience and time to continuously grow. That is why, after determining the priority for development, teachers must select appropriate strategies and interventions, improve personally and professionally. Okay, we have here the following tips that can help teachers identify strategies and activities for professional improvement. Number 1, focus on your identified priorities for development. Number 2, review and analyze your teaching practices that contributed to your identified level of capability. Number 3, gather feedback from colleagues and use them in selecting appropriate intervention. Take advantage of this feedback given during your mentoring intervention. Take advantage of this feedback given during your monitoring and coaching sessions with your school head and master teachers. So, meron tayong mga face-to-face, bawal ang face-to-face ngayon. So, meron tayong mga pwede tayong mag-virtual or pwede tayong mag-face-to-face pero gamitin natin yung mga protocol natin, no? Para maiwasan yung mga natin, virus. Okay, number 4. Keep records of daily reflection and use them as basis for professional improvement. Use also the reflection parts in your DLL to determine the kind of intervention that will help address the priority for development. And number 5, ask advice from your school head and colleagues for the needed professional and logistical support, as well as for possible professional trainings that you can attend. Okay, what are the other strategies? We have here, read, participate, join a group, observe your peers, then share. No? Okay. Illustrations of practice. As teachers, we will want to grow. That's why we develop Ipcrf development plan that will help improve our professional practice. This plan helps to keep our progress as teachers and lead us to self-improvement. Our role as a teacher has many dimensions, and oftentimes it's easy to get overwhelmed and stressed out. Developing Ipcrf development plan can help alleviate some of those negative feelings and make you feel better about yourself and your career. The following illustrations of practice will help us in our journey to professional improvement. Okay. Reflecting on the objectives of SAT RPMS will help the teacher to look back at his or her teaching practice. It also enables the teacher to understand himself, herself, and more importantly, the learners reflecting on these objectives does not only mean just looking back on past actions in the classroom, but also taking a conscious look at possible actions, interventions, and responses that will help improve the existing level of practice. Okay. For further explanation about Ipcrf, syempre, pinakahawod nato na marunong talaga sa Ipcrf. Na isang magaling na teacher, na magaling siya sa topic na ito ay i-explain sa atin ni Ma'am Leila lahat-lahat, no? Kasi ang akin dito yung sa practice natin, planning and practice. Okay. That's all about Module 24. Thank you and good afternoon once again.
Okay, thank you, Ma Castillo. So that's all for the PPST modules. So hope you learned or you gained something from the discussions of those 9 modules. So nabatay na to, teachers? Yes.
Yes, ma'am, daghan.
Yes. Okay, so we're not yet done, and we are on to the last discussant for this afternoon. Ma'am Lay. Ano ba si Ma'am Lay?
Hello, Joy. Good afternoon.
So Ay, hello ma'am. Okay na imuhang kuan? Oh, nabna naman. So,
Klaro ba ko, Joy? Pero di ko pa-share, Joy, kay ngaut nga ng signal, Joy. Pwede, kung nawala
Opo, ma'am.
gani ka, Joy.
Naaman
o,
ko diri.
Paging,
so our next
kaging.
discussion,
Paki-share na lang, Joy.
opo ma'am,
Ha?
will discuss, will
O,
share to
tanawa,
us
Mawala-wala ko, Joy.
about
no?
the Ipcrf review form. So let's all welcome Ma'am Leila Spitcarnese, Master Teacher 2 of Piedad Central Elementary School.
Mao lagi. Klaro ko, Joy.
Opo ma'am, loud and clear. Asa ya? Diyan.
Audio ra siguro ang maklaro na ko. Okay, thank
Klaro,
you.
ma'am,
Good
klaro,
afternoon to our... Thank you, Joy. Thank you
Ma'am.
for that introduction. So, okay na ko, Joy.
Something down. Wait lang sa mama.
Copy ko, Joy.
Tatungan
Sige lang, Joy. Okay, while waiting for the screen sharing of my topic, I would like to greet good afternoon to our PSDS, to the coordinating principal, Ma'am Marites C. Mobe, Ma'am Daisylin Boynafe, and Ma'am Mirna Morales. And to all the school administrators and master teachers, and of course, all the participants of today's webinar of Group 1. Before klaro ko, Joy, please inform me kung choppy ko kay murag unstable man akong
Okay ma'am, klaro man. Klaro imong tingog ma'am. Loud and clear pa. Sige, forward na ako. Sa imo? Ma'am Leila, ikaw ba daw mag-screen share, Ma'am Leila? Ma'am Lay? Okay na. Nawala. Ma'am Lay, ikaw mag-share. So, nawala among
Joy.
po.
I-share na lang kay
Ma'am.
mawala man.
Nawala lagi po. Ang sa pikas ng
Maputol-putol man ko. Joy?
po. Ma'am, nibali naman good food me diri. Diri sa pikas laptop and diri sa pikas nawala na pud ang net.
Wala ko gani ko ba? Try daw nato be.
Ilang. Oh, nana. Mali, up na po.
Dali lang kay di man noon ludi an man kuno diri.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Pati na, nawala.
Siya. Ako
Upod ang
ang
dika.
sa sinong ato ay Ipcrf naman. Mo tong
Dito, ano na ako.
oh dito niya ma'am. Iya to, kuan to. Dito to ni kuan. Kami upat din ay upat ka.
Ay, si Bonita. Ma'am Bonita. Naka-mute na. Naka-mute.
Hello Joy. Joy.
Hello, ma'am? Okay na, ma'am.
Kumamanta ni Joy.
Kita na ni mo?
Kita na ako pero ako na pwede na ako makita kung sarili asa na ko. Sige lang basta madungog na ninyo. Ha? Okay na? Madungog.
Yes. Loud and clear.
Okay. I repeat, so congratulations to all the facilitators for discussing the 9 modules of the PPST, because you know what, my dear fellow teachers, if learning is our passion, PPST module is for us. So, pinaka-importante sa ato ang modules as teacher also, because even though we are teachers, we have to learn. And through the PPST modules, matabangan ta kung unsa atong buhaton in our field of teaching. Okay, so this time, I would like to discuss first, to review first our RPMS tool for teacher 1 to 3, the proficient teachers in the time of COVID-19 for the school year 2020-21. So we have different Ipcrf for this school year. Why? Because of the COVID-19. I will not discuss the Ipcrf tool for master teachers because master teachers are well and good, very good in interpreting their own Ipcrf. And hello? Mawala ko no. Mawala ko no. Okay, so, pero nabalik na. Okay. So, asa naman to eh, pait. Okay. So, I'm going to discuss the IPCRF of the teacher 1 to 3 because the teacher 1 to 3, especially the new teachers, need to be informed of this. So you have this form, you have to accomplish the first page of the IPCRF. So you have to write your position title. This is in for the sake of you hired teachers. And then you have your salary grade, the office unit, and then it's this and so forth. Anyway, maybe there will be an electronic kuan na to aning automated na tanan. Maybe it will be prepared for us like the previous years na mag-encode lang ta automatic na tanan ang atong mga data. So hopefully na ay maka-share ana. For page 2 daw Joy. Page 2 daw Joy, please. Okay, these are the duties and the responsibilities of the teacher 1 to 3. So we have 11 duties. First, you have applies mastery of content knowledge and its application. So maybe you heard the one of the PPST module discussed one duty addresses learner diversity. So there is also a module which is about this learner diversity, and that module was for last school year, the previous school years. So this today we do not have this module. We did not discuss this module for number 2 duty, number 4 duty. Number 5 implements and supervises curricular and curricular programs to support learning. Number 6 monitors and evaluates learners' progress and undertakes activities seven maintains updated record current KRA of the IPCRF. Page 3, slide 3 daw, Joy. Okay. For all we know, our IPCRF contains 5 KRA. We have number 1, content, knowledge, and pedagogy. Now, the objective is applied knowledge of content within cross curriculum teaching areas, and module is of the previous PPST modules. It was not discussed today because wala siya last year. But no problem for us if for us to provide the MOVs of this, my dear fellow teachers. It is found in our that you perceive are, and the rate, it could be the master teachers or the school heads, will only validate your self-rating. So that is why kung mag-accomplish na mo sa inyong MOVs, by the way, sulti ipog ko Joy ha, kung nawala ko Joy ha, kung choppy ko, kung kuan ko. Joy?
Opo, ma'am. Opo.
Ikuan ko Joy, kay dire-diretso ko Joy, kay aron naman. Okay. So I repeat, the teacher will do the self-rating of her or his IPCRF based on the available evidences or means of verification she or he can provide. So that is why today we are going to discuss the different MOVs needed for each objective. Objective number 1, which is the applied knowledge of content within a cross-curriculum teaching area, makita jud ni sa atuang during magtudlo ang teachers. So no problem for the teachers sa iyahang rating kay automatic nga makita dito sa iyahang COT. Do you know what is COT? Class Observation Tool. So, kung magpa-observe ka sa imuhang rater o sa imong school head, you will be rated in this objective. By the way, do all of us know na tulo na lang ka-objective ang gina-observe during class observation? Do we know? I hope somebody will interact with me kay laing kaayo mag-discuss na walay interaction. Do we know, my dear fellow teachers there? Walay naningog. Okay, sige lang, kabalo siguro sila. Joy, pwede ikaw mo react na lang, Joy, kaya rin makabalo ko, Joy.
Opo, ma'am.
Kita na lang react, Joy, kay ba? Okay, ayaw ng loud and clear. Ang tumbaga po akong question, Joy. Okay. So during class observation, tulo lang ang bantayan sa rater, sa nag-observe sa imuha. And this is one objective. Reflected sa imong class observation tool, ang imong rating diha nga objective. So automatic, kopyahon lang na nimo kung maghimo na ka sa imong IPCRF. Kung mag-rate na ka sa imong IPCRF. So you have there the means of verification. The number 1 means of verification or the main MOV is the classroom observation. Sa imuha, well and good. Pero napod tayo gitawag og enter observer agreement form kung 5 imuha. So, kay modular man ta, printed modular man halos ang one. Unlike sa Predad Central, nga naaman ni online modality, online learning modality. So, di na lang ko discuss about sa online. So, katong COT during the lock session, ayan lock session held by your rater. So, mauto ang gamito ni mo nga means of verification, pinaka-importante. So, you will get, if you get a score of 7 in your COT, outstanding ka sa performance indicator in the RPMS 5-point scale rating. Paano ka makakuha na standing? Demonstrated level 7 in objective 1 as shown in the COT. Kung halimbawa, nasa baba, tanawa lang niyo. Halimbawa, ang rating nimo sa number 1 objective is 6, meaning ang imong rating sa 5-point scale rating is 4. Kung kanang ka og 5, 3 lang imong point scale. Tagaan kag 2 ni master school head will see 2 scale PMS. So wala naman po siguro poor kay all are doing their best when it comes to announce man po ni ato ang class observation. Wala man siguro surprise class observation kay lock session man gina-held atong lock session, ato ang observation. And then duha ka CO langan. That is why the rater or the school head has to conduct 2 classroom observation for each teacher. Six, ikaduha nga class observation pa-receive kag 3. I-add ang 4 of 3 divided into 2, you will have 3.5. And then, your RPMS rating, a very satisfactory applied knowledge to content within area. So, walay problema, obserbahan na mo, teachers. Kung na-obserbahan na mo sa rater na teacher or naalang tong CO, walay kung wala pa nakakandas observation, mo catch up pa siguro ang mga school heads. Okay, next objective. Slide number 4, Joy, please. Joy. Hello, Joy. Nawala na si Joy.
Ma'am, naana ma'am, ganiha pa.
Number 4.
Yes, ma'am.
O, wala ko. Ano na dyan po
Naana
dire?
ma'am.
Wala good na ako makita, Joy. Sige, ina lang po dyan. Mabasa na lang po dire. Slides.
Naana good, ma'am. Di makita?
Nana, makita, Ma'am Joy.
Oh, naa daw, ma'am. Ma'am Lay. Ma'am Lay. Wala yun ang connection.
Joy, nawala ko.
Oh, ganiha, ma'am. Karon na, okay na.
Pero wala dyan ko yung makita dire nga slides, Joy. Sige na lang, dire na lang po sa akong kopya. Basta ipakita lang diha, Joy, ha? Slides number
Sige, ma'am.
4. Slides number 4, that is objective number 2 of the KRA1 Content, Knowledge, and Pedagogy, which is ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. May I ask you who is the discussant of this module? Kinsa ang discussant ani nga module? Positive, use of ICT. Kinsa ganina? Globe. Okay. As I listen, Ma'am Nora, thoroughly discussed by her. And then, so, kung paano na to, di ko nakita nga slides diri. Naunta naman yan. Ginoo ko, tabangit ko. This is about module, Ma'am Lopo, no? PPST module 3. Module 13. Module 13. This is module 13. Ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. And it was discussed by Ma'am Nora Lindy Lupo. Now, what are the means of verification for this? Means of verification for this particular objective are the following. Any supplementary material in print or digital format made by the teacher and used in the lesson delivery that highlights the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. It was emphasized by Ma'am Noralyn na kung maggamit ta og mga sa mga through ICT, yung mga mo video clip, mga ana, kinahanglan na ay URL ug na ay link para tubag mo diri sa positive use of ICT. Okay. So ang mga MOVs na magamit diri kay activity sheets, one lesson from a self-learning module, lesson plan. When we say lesson plan, it could be your detailed lesson plan during your class observation or your daily lesson log. Wala ta ng DLL karong panahon na. Or your weekly home learning plan or your week learning plan, which is gitawag nato og ILP, ang atong instructional learning plan. Mao na siya ang weekly learning plan. And then you have the week learning lesson, a lesson exemplar. Mao na ang mga magpili lang diha kung lesson plan imong pilion. And if you have video lesson, audio lesson, other learning materials in print digital format. So i-specify nimo kung kani others ang imong gamiton, kinahanglan naka-annotate, meaning na kay explanation nganong kani imong gigamit para ani nga objective. Okay. Now, when we say you will get a 5-point score if you ensure that the ICT that you use redefine and transform learning experiences and are documented properly and consistently using any referencing style as shown in the submitted learning materials. Kano sa man pud ta makaingon na redefine nato? Na redefine nato kung ang learning materials are able to create new kinds of learning experiences that were not possible before. So, lisod kaayo karon ang ato ang objective number 2. Okay ha? The learning materials are able to create new kinds of learning experiences that were not possible before. Example, using social networking site to engage with other students from the corners of the community. Dili na pwede po to the corners of the globe. That is why Ma'am Nora Lenz presented a while ago, this morning, itong mga different platform nga magamit nato. Pero iyahang na-emphasize FB o group chat to iyahang na-emphasize. Wala kayo niya na-explain itong mga Edmodo. Pero na-explain naman na ni Sir Henry C. during our mga webinars since June last school year pa. Daghang kay tag webinar sa mga different platform. So kung nagamit na mo to, mao na siya. Makakuha kag score nga 5. Pero ang imong score 4 lang o rating nimo 4 lang, ensure that the ICT use augment and enrich learning experiences and are documented properly and consistently using any referencing style as shown in the submitted learning material. Kanang sa punta makaingon nga nag-augment ka, nga na-augment nimo ang imong naka-augment ang naka-enrich ang imong paggamit sa ICT. Ara. ICT use augment and enrich learning experience. The use of the tool provides value-added experience. Nakita ninyo diha sa ubos sa stand, sa ubos mabasa ninyo diha. The use of the tool provides value-added experience. Mao na gitawag og augment ug enrich, naka-augment ug naka-enrich ang imong ICT imong paggamit sa ICT, imong lesson. Example, using Google Jamboard that makes discussion interactive Ah. So, ang imo bang discussion sa imuhang lesson nagiging interactive ba? So, meaning naka-augment ta o naka-enrich. Imong rating ana 4. Okay, 4. Kung naka-modify lang ka, modify processes and improve learning experiences and are documented properly and consistently using any referencing style shown in the submitted learning material, ang imong rating 3. So, kanong sa kutaw nakaingon nga naka-modify ka? Naka-modify ka kung nag-use kami mong ICT, improve processes to increase productivity. Example, Google Docs or real-time collaboration in group activities. So, nagamit ka ani nga mga platform. So, 3 imong rating. So, then 2 na lang, 2 imong rating if the ICT are used but do not create a new learning experience and or are documented but not consistent with one referencing style. 2. 1, no acceptable evidence was shown. Imposible nga wala kay ipakita kay magpili lang ka diri sa activity sheet, one lesson from a self-learning module. So, kung ako sa inyo, mangita mo module, kay printed module man ta mo, modular modality man ta, ngita mo module nga dito na ay activities nga nag-suggest of ICT utilization. And then, kung halimbawa ang imuhang detailed lesson plan during your class observation, nag-focus sa positive use of ICT, then you can use that lesson plan or that detailed lesson plan. Or yung video lesson nimo, pwede nimo i-share sa imong rater, ipapaminaw nimo, or audio lesson and other learning materials. So, for example, for this objective, 2 MOVs are required for the entire school year. So, duha lang ang kailangan nimo. So, halimbawa, MOV1, imong gipakita, activity sheet. And then, ang rating lang nimo, 3 lang. Kaya nga naman, ang imong paggamit sa ICT, nag-modify lang man, processes and improve learning. So, 3. And then, ang ikaduha nimo nga MOV, gipakita, 1 lesson from a self-learning module. Unyan, kita man jud dito sa module nga nagamit jud ka nag-ano jud og ICT, positive use of ICT, so the rating is 4. Add the 2, divide into 2, then you have 7 divided by 2 is 3.5, so your the average. So your score for the rating is RPMS is very satisfactory, which is 4. So that is for objective number 2. Mag-self-rating ang teacher, tapos i-validate lang tan-awon sa rater, sa master teacher, sa school head, kung tama ba yun ang imong pag-self-rate. Okay, utan man siguro ang mga rater, why problema. Okay, let us go to slide number 5. Okay. This is still again objective pa rin sa content, knowledge, and pedagogy, which is applied a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher order thinking skills. If I am not wrong, the speaker this morning is Ma'am Lydia Albacete. Am I right? That is module 3. Ayo, asan na mo? Amo diha?
Yes, ma'am.
Pangutana mo ha kung nalibog mo ha. Pangutana mo. Kay hapit na baya, July na atong IPCRF. July. Sugod-sugod na intawon mo og ipon sa inyohang mga MOVs. Kay na mo, this is the rationale or the reason why we have this webinar or was this today para ma-refresh mo kay basig nagkalig lang mo nga pareha lang last school year ang mga MOVs. Dili. So hinahinay na mo kay sa inyong mga gitigom din ha. Haom ninyong asa dapat nabilong. Okay. Sa objective number 3, makakuha daw ka og rating of 5. Applied, ikaw ha mo rate kasi mo sarili. 5 ka if you have applied teaching strategies that challenge learner to draw conclusion and justify their thinking or put parts together to provide deeper understanding of ideas learned as shown in the submitted learning. Ibilin siya na di Antonio. Learning material. Ibilin siya na di. Unya na lang magbiti. Excuse me ha. Okay. Then a rating of 4. Apply teaching strategies that require learners to make connection using ideas learned as shown in submitted learning material. Score nimo 3, that require learners to describe and explain ideas learned as shown in your MOVs. 2, apply teaching strategies that lead learners along a single path of inquiry. Katong low level of questions lang ang imong ginapangutana nga naminaw imong rater. Tagaan ka dito og tulang. Tulang imuhang kuan dito, imong rating. Or sa imuhang MOV, wa niya nakita nga puros imuhang gihatag activity sheets. Halimbawa, activity sheets ang imong gihatag. O niya, puros ang question dito sa imong activity sheet nga gihatag, low level of question, ala, tagaan lang tagto. Pero kung ang imong mga questions dito sa sa imong MOV nga gipakita, nga gipresenta, makita nimo dito nga naabot na ka sa high level thinking skill, then you may rate that 3, 4, or 5. Depende sa imuhang pag-self-rate, and again, it will be validated by the master teacher. Now, when we say with this, don't forget to remember the cognitive domain in the Bloom's taxonomy. Kinahanglan sa higher level thinking skill. Katong analysis, synthesis, evaluating, at saka creating ang imuhang pag-construct sa imong mga question. It could be the asking of questions could be in the reflected in the written materials, or during the class discussion, during the lab session, sa imuhang pagdemo-demo, makita dito, pero kinahanglan andam pug ka mo produce sa imong recorded lesson para mapaminaw sa imuhang rater usab kung niabot ba ka dito sa higher level thinking skill. Okay, yan. Synthesizing part is something new to form a functional whole. Draw conclusion, dirita, 5 imong score. Kung draw conclusion and justify their thinking refers kung nakaabot ka sa evaluating level of thinking skill. When we say evaluating, ang bata makahimo na siya sa iyang sariling judgment. Making judgment the value of ideas or materials presented by the teacher. Okay, then 4, make connection using ideas learned. Umingon tag make connection, ideas learned, ito to the analyzing level lang ang imong naabot. When we say analyzing level, determining how parts relate. So, for example, nasa imong activities, ang sentences nga kung imo na siyang ipon-iponon sumpay-sumpayon, mahimong isa ka short story. Mauna siya ha, analyzing. Ang analyzing is from simple part, making it a bigger part. And when we say synthesizing, from big part, broken into smaller parts. Okay ha? So higher order thinking na. So mao na ang rating, review lang ninyo. For this objective again, 2 MOV sa cellphone, sige pong pangit, sige pong texted. Wala signal. Oh. Okay, for this objective, 2 MOVs are required. O, pareha ganina, 2 lang ka MOVs for the whole school year. Sa siyaro, wa jud kay matap-tap diha sa imuhang mga papel-papel nga available, sa imuhang tanan kadaghang activity sheets nga available nimo, kadaghan nimong ILP, kadaghan nimong lesson module din ha, kadaghang module din ang available, video lesson, weekly home learning plan, and other learning materials. So, halimbawa na po ang gihatag nga halimbawa, activity sheets lang gyapon iyahang gibutang sa iyang MOVs. Unya, asa naman ko? Joy. Asa naman yung na-share dire?
Sa man to?
Facebook na man ni Joy.
Sana lang. Uy, kay Christian na to nga Facebook.
Asa naman ni Facebook naman ni inyong gi-share sa kuha. Ay, lagutan ng internet na mo dire. Oy, akong ta to mag-share. Wow na ko sa inyo.
Sama po si Pipa. Uy, sige lang gulit yun.
Continue lang ko ha. So halimbawa, iyahang MOV, isa ka MOV niya gi-present activity sheet.
Na-X to, na-X.
O sige lang, ibalik lang, no problem, no problem.
Ma'am, 3 naman ka, ma'am, no? Objective 3, pabagyapon ka, ma'am. Ma'am Lay. Ma'am Lay, sa 3 pa ba kagyapon?
Hindi naman siya ang Joy. Facebook man Japon ni Joy.
Ay, napilit na mo, ma'am.
Okay, Nana. Salamat. So, ang MOV1 nga iyang gi-share is activity sheets nya iyahang sarili gitagaan lang niya 3 ngano man kay nag-require learners to describe and explain ideas lang siya. Mo to yung paniwala siyang sarili. Pero kung pag-validate sa master teacher, nag-make connection day siya, higher level day yang thinking skills ang na-reflect nga nakita sa iyang activity sheet, tagaan siya sa iyang rater of 4. So mausab na siya din ha. And then, ang ikaduha na po niyang gi-attach, 1 lesson from SLM. Or pwede po lesson ILP imong i-present din ha. Nga, tagaan mo, teacher, o imong sarili o 4 o 5 ba, kay you do believe 5 ka. Diri ako mga question diri sa ako ang kuan, ako ang nakita diri nga lesson. Unya na ano jud na-connect jud. Nag-draw conclusion, abot sa level of evaluating ang mga questions. So, tagaan ako 5 akong sarili diri. Pero pag tanaw sa imuhang validator, sa imuhang master teacher nga nag-rate, 4 ka, o di makambyo po na din ha. So, depende ra na sa inyo ha. Kung palanggaon po kaayo na imuhang rater, kamo na mag-istorya ha, read between the lines. I would not say it, kay bad man na sa ako ang magsulti, mag-encourage of something. So, mapalo jud tag what is should be done. Ang ako diri ideal lang akong istorya ha, pero dili ko nagiging idealistic. Ang ako lang gi-explain lang nako ang dapat ug kamo na unsa inyong buhaton. Kamo man ang nakabalo sa inyong
nabigay si Ma'am Ima.
Salamat, ma'am.
Mag-pirma.
Ima,
Kadali.
i-close, i-unmute sa na imong mic na Ima.
Sorry.
Okay. So, ana na to no. So, ang rater na ang mo validate. So, that is for apply the range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking. So, okay, let us proceed. So, by the way, this objective is KRA2, diversity of learners and assessment and reporting na siya. Ha? Kaning objective number 4, KRA number 2 na number 2. Di ba na ay atong duties ganina giingon nako ganina nga one of the duties of the teacher is to address learner diversity. So mao na sa atong Ipcrf naapod tay KRA2 which is diversity of learners and assessment and reporting. So what are the objectives involved in this KRA? The first objective involved in this KRA is establish a learner-centered culture by using teaching strategies that responds to their linguistic, cultural, socio-economic, and religious background. If I am not wrong, the speaker of this is Sister Sahid. Am I right? And that, nagpalakpak na ko kay Sir kay wapo kayo ang ihang pagkuan kay nagademand yun siya og participation from the participants. So, na-deliver niya. O, maayo, no? So, the means of verification for this, the same lang gihapon. Activity sheets, one lesson from self-learning module, lesson plan, video lesson, audio lesson, all learning material na nag-address ani nga objective. Basi na confuse mo ha nga ay activity sheet, lahi po tong activity sheets nga imong gamiton sa objective number 2. Lahi po tong activity sheets nga gamiton nimo sa objective number 3. Depende unsay naka-reflect dito nga objective sa imong MOVs. Kinahanglan ihaum ba sa objective ang imong i-present. Okay. So kanus apud ka maka 5. Diha. Utilize effective teaching strategies that are appropriate in responding to learners' linguistic, socioeconomic, or religious background at an individual level, as shown in the submitted learning material. When we say at individual level, unsa day nang individual level? Sa individual level refers to targeted instruction to the individual learner or to a number of learners. Dili ko ka highlight kay di man gud ako'y nag-share. So mao na pastang paita lami unta to ako kay makaana-ana ko ba makakuan ko sa akong cursor. Mao ni ako ang giistorya. Sige lang, iban pa lang ka kay hinay. Okay. So individual levels refers to targeted instruction to an individual learner or to a number of learners. Kung isa lang ka bata or pila lang ka bata, 5, 3 ang na-address nimo, mauna siya ang individual learner, individual level. And then kinahanglan duha diri ang individual level. Nya kinahanglan effective teaching strategies that are appropriate. Effective yun. So mauna siya ang score nimo 5. Pero maka-rating ka o for utilize effective teaching strategies that are appropriate in this objective at a group level. Unsa man group level? Refers to general, whole class instruction where teaching, modeling, or concept of all students happens at once. So meaning, dako, big crowd, big that is what we call a group level. And then the rating will be 3 if nag-utilize lang ka an effective teaching, unstable na po akong internet, effective teaching strategies that are appropriate, and pababa ang score. So, mauna siya, no? Example na po, May naghimo ni balik lang pud activity sheet, wa jud siya nagpag-audio lesson kay kuan manggod kanang modular ni siguro ang maestra diri. And then one lesson from a self-learning module na pud iyang gigamit. Nag-self-rate ang maestra og 3 kay ngano man nag-utilize lang siya of effective teaching. Okay. Then ang sa MOV2 niya, SLM iyang gigamit, nag-rate siya 4, add that 2, divide that 2, divide that the average is 3.5, wa pa ko joy, ay isang ibalhin, 3.5, and the rating is 4. Sige lang, oy, di lang na, anyway, kasabot man punta sa ato ang co-teachers o ang mga maestra po, ang mga rater po, maybe, okay, consider ganita sa atong estudyante kay pandemic, how much more with our co-teachers? Okay. Pero, does not mean that you will not supply the needed MOVs. Kay tanawon baya na sa inyong rater. Teachers ha, o kamo po rater, be discreet, be care. You also have to check the MOVs kay base po o bata kabalo na yung monitor, pahilapon niya ta. Okay. So, number 5 na ta. Objective number 5 under KRA 2 lang gihapon, which is diversity of learners and assessment. Oh, nanay assessment. Dire, kani siya, walay problema ni siya. Kaysa ang atong MOVs lang aning number 5 COT lang gihapon. Makita dito sa COT. But if you're familiar with our COT, tulo na lang man to ang pangitaon. So ang una, katong content, knowledge across and within, and then ang ikaduha kani COT. Kanto gani puting lisudan ni buhaton ba kaning plan and delivered teaching strategies that are responsive to the special educational needs of learners in difficult circumstances, including geographic isolation, chronic illness, displacement due to armed conflict, urban resettlement or disasters, child abuse, and child labor practices. So walay module ani, walay nag-explain ani unsaon ni ang maestra ni sariling sikap ug interpret aron lang ma-appeal sa iyahang lesson plan nga na-address niya ang difficult circumstances. Okay. So kanang mga chronic, istoryahin ng mga chronic illness di sa imong lesson. Appeal na ang mga andiha i-discuss paghatag example din ha. Mga geographic ayaw na lang po siguro ning armed conflict kang murag man ka experience na dili siya contextualization no, pero kung na example through video clip ana ganito na pud mo i-connect nimo din ha ang imuhang video di gihapon ma-address nimo. And by the way, that is not only the aspect that we are to address when we say difficult circumstances. Pwede pud nato i-address ang person who suffer from hunger. So, basig na kay situation, sample sa imong lesson, during your class observation, nag-suffer of hunger, yan, naka-video clip, katong dito sa India, nagkakayo dito, gipangguan, no? Halos mangaon na malagdahon. O, sa tunga country, diha, na-address na nimo. Even in our country, makakuan ka og mga example na nag-address og hunger, thirst, dangerous jobs, prostitution, and then sexual abuse, diseases. Ay, wala diha sa inyo ha, na-direct lang. Prostitution, sexual abuse, disaster, harassment, problems with the law, imprisonment, destructive drug, domestic slavery, violence among others. So, kung ma-address nimo na, ma-appeal nimo na sa imong lesson, well and good, ang great nimo, maayo man niya ni pagka-explain, Ayaw man wala may kuan, makasabot man jud ang learners. Sa imuhang pag-demo during lab session, then tagaan siguro kaniya og 6. O kung 6 ka, 4 imuhang RPMS. Kung sa ikaduha na nimo wa na nimo address, di na kaayo maayo ang imuhang pag-manifest ani nga objective, itagaan ka sa nag-rate sa imuhang 5. Tama ng 5, satisfactory lang. Add the 2, 4 plus 3, 7, divided by 2, 3.5. So your RPMS rating will be very satisfactory. So, wala yapoy problema, kay very satisfactory man. So again, katong COT1 nimo, imong ipa-photocopy, butang nimo diri nga part. Kay naa man na, gamiton man na. And then, ang katupong COT2 nimo, ipa-photocopy, butang po nimo banda diri nga objective. Okay, so that is objective number 5. So let us go to objective number 6. Please, Joy. Okay. Ayo, pasensya lang, Joy, kay ikaw rin yung nag-antos di aron, Joy. O si basig si Christian ron di. Amat daan, ha? Okay. Still again, this is KRA number 2, diversity of learners and assessment and reporting. What is this? Use strategies for providing timely, accurate, and constructive feedback to improve learner performance. And the speaker this morning is my kumare, Susan Garcia. Am I right? Nangatawa na ni sila. Okay. Apa mo diya?
Napamaj.
Sige. So, mauni siya ang topic ni Ma'am Susan ganina. Ang means of verification that you have to present to your rater is the following: activity sheets, performance tasks, quiz or test, self-learning module. So, para klaro, ako i-remind sa inyo nga kani nga objective, 2 MOVs are required for the entire school year. So, duha lang gihapon ang MOVs nga kailangan ani. So, way problema, kadaghan na itong papel, panaguan diya sa tuang kon, na kay activity sheets, na kay performance task. Pero, i-rate ang quality o ang timeliness. Ani? So, kanus ka maka-5 sa quality, provided learners with accurate and specific and directed constructive feedback as shown in the evidence submitted. So we say, diri ko tanaw kay gagmay kaayo diri sa laptop. We say it is accurate kung kanus ta makaingon kung accurate and specific and directed. Feedback refers to essential and culturally appropriate written and or oral information about learners' performance output. So na-emphasize ni Ma'am Susan ganina na kailangan halimbawa na atay gipahimo sa atong learner na adjud tay feedback. Okay, di ba na atoy isa ka teacher example dito nga needs improvement ang iyang giingon nato didto. So kailangan dili lang ta mo check lang diretso butang check dako kay nga check unya tangan dayon 20. Kinahanglan ako daytay mga descriptive feedback. So that can be used to raise awareness on their strengths and weaknesses as basis for improvement. So, sa pagdawat sa bata sa ilahang papel, nag-suggest din si ma'am na magdagdag daw po picture. Okay. Add more like that. Ato, takuya. Uy, 39 ka bata. Ay, Ginoo. Unsaon na lang ni atong pagka-maestra. Impil-impil pa mo maestra. Di alim no. Uba ko lagi to. Ganina, nakita na ko. Okay. Impil-impil pa mo. So, makascore kag 5 kung directed, constructive feedback. Ano sa maging directed? Kung ang imong feedback give a specific direction on how to make improvements. So, kinahanglan 5 imong score kung ang imong feedback na gisulat dito sa iyang activity sheets o sa iyang output, halimbawa nagpass siya project, nagihatod pa yun diri sa mama sa imong room, utangan nimo dito, uy kani, kinahanglan, dungagan pa ni, ana, basta specific, ha? Mao daw na ang score nimo 5 sa quality. And then, kung mahimo na po siyang specific constructive feedback, score nimo 4. Ano sa pod? Kung that points out a specific issue in a learner performance output. And then general constructive feedback, score nimo 3, if that points out what is commonly observed among learners' performance output and is addressed to the class in general. So siguro sa inyong group chat, imong gisulti dito, imo na i-record pa to nimo, imo pa to i-screenshot dito imuhang mga group chat nimo para maapil na nang nimo din nga kuan proof nga naga-feedback gyud ka sa imuhang mga bata. Okay. Anyway, isa ra mo kinahanglan ani di kay lisod. Okay, for example, activity sheet with teacher's feedback. Mao na imuhang MOV. Unya kay ang imong pag-feedback nimo kay kutog raman sa kuan, accurate and general constructive feedback, o di 3 ra imong score. Pero kung with accurate and specific and directive constructive feedback, butangan nimo diang 5. So, kuan lang. So, depende sa imong pag-self-assess. And then, ang master teacher na karon nga, kagwapo sa iyang feedback, di butangan kung 5 ni siya diri. So, ma-adjust din na. So, mao na inaatay ginatawag nga, kanang drop sa atong Ipcrf, drop. Anang, murag, kung sa kuan pa sa ato ang inato nga sinultian, naatay scratch, nga man i-validate sa master teacher. And then, ikaduha niyang gihatag nga MOVs is performance task with teacher's feedback. So, performance task, unsa man to? Siguro, naa siya activity, naa siya project, kunya pagbalik sa project, naay feedback na gisulat sa maestra, kunya nauli pud ni sa bata. Nganuman, kay kinahanglan kanitanan ato ang mga activity sheets, ato mga performance task, atong quiz, o ang module, iuli man na sa bata ang ilaan. Kung nagaulig sa module no kay ginatago man na sa room kay pangitaon man. Amot sa lower grades, ginabalik ba na sa bata? Ginabalik ba na? Kay diha man mo nagsulat. Kung saan man po na og dili ibalik sa bata, ipundo lang sa classroom. Mo na nakita na lang noon ni Ma'am Esteban. Mawa na check. Amot no, pangutan aron nato ni ato ang mga school heads kung dapat ba na iuli. Kanang mga sa kinder to grade 2. Kay gi-checkan man na dapat makita na dito sa bata. Kay na dito feedback ni Ma'am Kinder. Ganina ning mo ba si Ma'am Susan? Iyang word ang kinder daw teacher, hawod daw kaayo mo unsa to? Kasi kung bad kung negative ka mo accept sa word dili maayo. Atong iyang word nga uto-uto, kung negative imong pagdawat ana di maayo, pero kung positive imong pagdawat sa word okay lang pod. So kinahanglan iuli siguro tong module. Kung sa man mamubi dili na iuli tong module sa kinder ug kuan, kinder grade 2. Ma'am? Sulatan man daw mga feedback, ma'am.
Iuli. Dapat iuli kay may feedback man. How will they know nga unsay imong gibutang nga feedback kung dili na mauli sa ila?
Kay sa mga higher grades, ma'am, gisulat man sa papel ang ilang answer, ginauli man na namo pero wala lagi to feedback, ma'am. Score, kuan lang check nga score. Wala may kabutang o ang project lang among nabutang ang feedback. Nga. Check kay objective man gud.
Ma'am Lai,
Objective man good ka.
the
Yes,
purpose
ma'am.
of the feedbacking, no? Kay wala man tayo face-to-face. The purpose of giving feedback is to let the other person know what is happening, na? Ano ang dapat i-improve? Ano ang dapat gawin? So kung hindi mo isauli iyan,
So, ipang-uli daw na, kay basi hadlok pud ang teacher ma'am kay basi gamito, sama paggamit next year nga gisulatan man na. Oh, di ba ma'am?
yes.
Di
At
man
yun ang
magamit siya.
Dati kasi nagkakagulo tayo kasi pinapa-bundle yan kasi for future.
Mo gani ma'am,
Mura naman ang nangyari.
malibog na gani ang maestra ma'am, iuli ba ni, dili ba ni iuli? Kay kuan, sige.
You can make also your feedbacking. I would suggest kung halimbawa dili iuli kay makalanganin si teacher. If you want to give feedback, you can write it in a piece of paper. Pwede din. But how will they check, no? How will they check kung saan banda 'yon, di ba?
Kung
Kung
nga.
iuli ang whole package. I think iuli good siya. That's my personal conviction. Iuli good siya.
So mao gani na ma'am nga ang MOVs nga gamiton, activity sheet, performance task, quiz or test, self-learning module na naay feedback. Kay aron mahibal-an pud unsang klase imong gihimo nga feedback, accurate and specific ba? Undirected constructive feedback para ang iyang score 5. And then very satisfactory kung accurate and specific constructive feedback lang. And then accurate lang unya general ang iyahang kanang general very good. Ana mga inana ang feedback very good. Dito ra ka sa 3 imong score. Beautiful. Nana, pero walay suggestion how to improve, ang imong rating 3 lang. Okay. So, mauna ha, kamo na bahala anak teachers mo assess sa inyong sariling mga output. Kay ngano, next, quality pa lang to sa feedback ang ato ang gi-rate. Naa pa joy timeliness. Okay, baka kuha ka og 5 sa timeliness kung ang MOV nimo submitted feedback shows feedback given within 5 working days. 5 working days from submission. So there is a need daw, nga natay stamp nga itatak o butangan jud nimo date nga kanus-an nimo na hatag ng imong feedback sa iya ha. Okay. Within 5 days, 5 working days, 5 ka. Kung 6 to 10 working days nimo na submit ang feedback dito naka-reflect, 4 lang ka sa timeliness. Kung 11 to 20 working days, 1 month na. After 1 month, kay 20 days lang baya jud ning bulan no, kay 5 ka o 4 ka semana. So, kung after 4 weeks pa nimo na ano ang imong feedback, na 3 ra imong score, ay imong rating. Grade yan, sobra kas 20 days, 2 ka bulan pa nimo na uli imong gipangayo nga project unya dugay kay nimo na uli, dugay kay nimo napakita sa bata, tulang imong score. So ikaw mag self-assess. For example, if you have presented activity sheet, isa ka activity sheet nimo, nga gi-rate lang kag 3 sa imong sarili, plus the performance task with the teacher's feedback 4, and then sa timeliness 5, within 5 days, and then ang performance task for 5 within 5 days. So 5 ang imuhang timeliness, 3.5 lang ang imuhang quality. So mao lang ni ang objective nga nag-require og timeliness. Okay, that's it. So let us go now to the KRA number 3, which is curriculum and planning na. So this is selected the objective number 7, selected, develop, organize, and use appropriate teaching and learning resources, including ICT to address learning goals. So naato ganina nag-discuss na ingon siya na murag parihara sa topic ni ICT ganina. Ang kinsa ni? Ang kinsa ning objective number 7. Kisay nagkuan ani? Nag-discuss. This is module 9.
Ako ana, Ma'am Lai.
Okay, Ma'am Prima Rose. Okay, di ba niingon ka Ma'am Prima Rose nga na-discuss ni Ma'am Kuan, ni Ma'am Noralyn, na-mention niya ang mga ubang platform. Way problema ni sa teacher kay COT man gihapon ang pangayuan ani. Naka-reflect na imong rating dito sa COT 1 o sa COT 2. Okay. Wala problema. Mo reflect na dayon na dito. So, mao na ni ang ikatulong gamitan na katulong objective nga gamitan nato COT1 o COT2. By the way, master teachers, have you done the classroom observation 1 and 2? Hopefully you're done.
Yes, Ma'am, we're done.
Okay, congratulations if you're done. If you're not done, hala. Sige, apas dayon mo kay paninglan mo na sa teacher. Inyuhan ang obligasyon, master teachers. Okay, let us go to the next objective for curriculum and planning, that is set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes that are aligned with learning competencies. And this is the topic of Ma'am Joy Ayag na balik-balik in town siya kuan kay walay signal. Luoy kaayo ni adto pa jud sa Loyola. Okay. So, congratulations Ma'am Joy kay imo ra yung na-process ang imong topic.
Yes po, ma'am.
Congratulations kay imo ra yung naman. Tingnan nag-webinar ko. Speaker, speaker. Ina ako ang speaker, dili ko ka-entertain niya. Okay, so thank you for that, Joy. And MOVs needed are kanay po ha, ang MOVs, 1 lesson plan. Okay, daghang klaseng lesson plan, atong dated lesson plan, atong weekly home learning plan, atong ILP. Are you preparing ILP? Individual instructional plan. Kana ganing Monday to Friday per subject. Mamo ana. Oy naningog. Alam mo. Mamo ana namoy ILP?
Na, ma'am.
Weekly dili kayo makitaan sa mga kuan ni. Mas gwapo ang ILP. Ang ILP o DLP inyong gamiton. Kay dili makita dito sa weekly learning plan ang setting ang will have a score of 5 all outcome setting competencies. Kung 1 ay di pa ba nababa imong rating. And then 4 majority earning. Majority lang 4. Kung half of the learning outcomes set are aligned, so 3. Yeah, remember, learning outcomes sa mata. Naaga nito ano ba, di ba? Joy Ayag, emphasize gihapon ang mga different cognitive level of this, di ba? Emphasize, Ma'am Joy Ayag.
Yes,
Hopefully,
ma'am.
kung wala kaayo ninyo na get kay ang signal, hopefully each teacher will have a copy of the PPST module. I hope that the school heads will find ways and means na makaprovide sila sa PPST modules para magsariling sariling study. Pero pandemic ba bata next year? Hopefully not, no? Magampo lang ta nga dili na lahi na. Lahi na pud siguro ang module, lahi na pud siguro ang PPST modules next school year. Kay kada school year dungagan nila 7 ka modules. Okay, kay hutdon nila tanan ang ilang modules nga gi-prepare. Do you remember na pilang 39 modules o 37 modules ba ng PPST? Unya nakaano pa lang ta o pila pa lang ni 23 at 24 pa lang including the previous years. Okay, next KRA 4 community linkages. Community linkages, slides number 10, 11 na ta, Joy. Linkages and professional engagement. Objective number 9. Objective number 9. Okay, build relationship with parents, guardians, and the wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process. This is module, unsa daw din mga module B? Objective number 9. This is module 22. Who is the discussant of module 22? It is Ma'am Mary Joy Meng Mang. Okay, so the-discuss ni maayo ni Joy ganina pero nawala man ko. So, I know thoroughly discuss ni Ma'am Joy. Walay problema ni kay dali raman ni pero daghang kaayo og means of verification, no? Tanawan ninyo niyang means of verification. Number 1, proof of participation in any activity for improved access to education such as not limited to the following activities. So, pwede ka mo andiha. Number 1, under means of verification, number 1, distribution of learning materials to learners' parents. Katong ginapirmahan, mag-uli sila o magkuha sila o modules. Nata na tanan no? Okay, nata na. Kung pirma, suyan, kuha, pirma. Okay, from first quarter to fourth quarter, nata na. Or, pwede po ang imong gamiton, Brigada Eskwela. Example, kung related sa Brigada Eskwela, commitment form to stakeholders, develop advocacy materials, certificate of participation that involve parent stakeholders, engagement signed by the school head. Or, pwede po home visitation ang imuhang kuan MOVs. Kinanla naaka-adto ang imong form na naaka dito description naman siguro mo yung visitation form no nga ginapil-upan kung mo adto mo sa inyong mga bata. And then others, please specify and provide annotation. So kinahanglan magkuan ka o kung magpili kag others kay na wala ka aning number 1 ana kaning distribution oy imposible wa tanang distribution maura man yun na atong ginahimo. Pagsulod sa parent, pirma dayon na sila. Okay, so naadyo ka ana. Kung wala ka nang sa brigada, hala, pag home visitation. Kung imposible po wa kay home visitation kay man naamin yung bata nga kinahanglan og home visitation. So nakadin sa number 1. Sa number 2, parent-teacher group of other stakeholders meeting. Example, one-on-one parent-teacher learner conference lab. Kinakay kaan, namoy conference. And then attendance sheets with minutes of online or face-to-face meeting. Kung nag-face-to-face, pwede. Kung wala, di katong inyuhang kuan, screenshot nimo sa imuhang pag-Zoom meeting sa imong parents na or ang imuhang screenshot sa imuhang correspondence through group chat. Mao na imong gamiton diha. Next, number 3, any form of communication to parent stakeholders. Notice of meeting, ayan no, nana screenshot of chat, text, messages, communication with parents, guardian, name or identifier remove. Kung may picture i-remove daw ang mga picture sa name para protection. Digital printed copy of learner enrollment survey form signed by the ICT coordinator, focal person, and school head. Katuganing enrollment, online enrollment, namo ana di mo daghang kayong MOVs. So kani pud nga kaning objectivity o efficiency pud ang i-rate. Okay, quality ka quality 5 imong score kung sustain engagement with parents, guardian, and or wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process as evidenced by 2 or more of MOV number 1 or 2. So duha sa number 1, duha or more sa of MOV number 1. Sharod wala kay duha diha sa proof of participation. Dire banda ituro gani diha Joy kaning naitulo ka number 1 Joy. Ikuan ang kurso. Siya ro wala ka dinhay, wala kay duha diha. Kung naa daw kay duha diha, 2 or more MOVs of number 1 or of number 2. Dili sabot number 2, Joy. Kurso, Joy. Paitan ni oy. Nga, pasensya, Joy. Kung sa number 2 duha pud imong ma-produce din ha, 5 ka sa quality. And then kung isa lang daw evidence by 1 MOV sa number 1, isa-isa sa number 1 o isa sa number 2, 4 ka. Kung evidence number 3 ang imong gipili kaning mga screenshot lang imong gipili, 3 lang ka. Okay. Kung wala, but receive no response, na kay mga na kay communication pero walay response, tulay mong quality. Okay, so muna ha. Sa efficiency, submitted any 4 of the acceptable MOV. Kung nakasubmit kag 4, 5 imong rating. Kung nakasubmit kag 3, 4 imong efficiency. Kung nakasubmit kag 2, 3 imong efficiency. Kung nakasubmit kag 1, asyaro kung 1, kadaghan naman papiliha asyaro. Isa ra wa gyud kay masubmit. Okay, naligid butang dia sa ubos. Any 4, 3, 2 of the acceptable MOV under efficiency means the same kind of MOV can be submitted more than once. So, pwede daw more than once ang isa. Example, submitted MOV could be 2 parent-teacher lab, 1 printed ELSF, and 1 screenshot of correspondence with parents via an online platform to merit an outstanding. Okay, so, upat imong kuan dia, bisag asa din ha, 5 imong efficiency. Okay. Bisag unta na lang mga MOVs, di ka ka-produce. Okay, let us proceed to objective number 10. For 10 na. Okay. Under pa rin sa KRA 4, community linkages and professional engagement. Diapon ha, katulo na ni nga objective sa KRA 4. Participated in professional net, share knowledge and to enhance practice. And the facility of module 23 is Ma'am Elmira Catao. Okay, as I listen, it was thoroughly discussed also by Ma'am Catao, and these are the following MOVs you are going to choose. Okay, certificates of completion in a course training. Nakay course training karon. Nakay certificate karon. Then certificate of participation in a webinar. Webinar man dito karon. Dito, upskilling and other training. Sukad atong July, August, September, October, nagrakite lang na atong binari tuling si Sir Mark Hensi na pay mga international kabuang rin tag-submit og output nga aron katwa tag certificate siya. Next, certificates of recognition, speakership in a webinar with training, seminar, workshop. Okay, basig nag-speaker mo, na may certificate ana. Next, any proof of participation to benchmarking activity. Ngadto mo magbalyo, siguro, benchmark mo dito. Na. Any proof of participation in school LAC session, online, face-to-face, certified by the LAC coordinator. Kinahanglan pirmado sa LAC coordinator. Dili appeal ang LAC session nga nag-class observation. Na nag-participate sa professional network to share knowledge and to enhance practice. Ang annotation ni maugod ni bagay yun ni diri sa ako kaning objective number 10 kay mo na. Okay, i-appeal na sa imong MOV siya ro dili ma-convince ang imong reader. Okay. Yung quality of efficiency gihapon ni siya. Now, the quality for this is you will have a rating of 5. Dili lang di ay mo percent enough na mo present kag certificate. Ano man? Makakuha ka 5, participated in any professional network activity that require output and proof of implementation. Apa yung proof of implementation? Implementation within the school to share knowledge and to enhance practice and even as evidenced by the submission. So require output. Ikaduha, napay proof of implementation. Another criterion is within the school. Okay. When sa man ang output, meaning may include but not limited to lesson plan, instructional materials, action plan, or any teaching and learning related material. Halimbawa, nag-present kag certificate of speakership. Okay, kinahanglan na kay proof of implementation pa yun, o action plan. Sa nga apil ka dito sa action plan nga kuan mo na nga kinahanglan kung naatay mga activity naa jud tay action plan, naa jud tay mga training design nga naka-reflect ang mga pangalan sa mga tao nga involved kaya aron i-highlight so niya dito, and that is proof of and important grade level, you will have a score of 4. And then, nakay output, pero wala kay proof of implementation. Ang imong score, 3. Imong score or rating, 2, does not require output. Why output? Certificate lang. 2 lang. Kung certificate lang imong mapresenta. 2, sa quality. Kinahanglan, na jud day mga kuan, mag-anad-anad na mo mga bata-bata kay ngano ang karon nga nang magpa-promote kanang mag-submit og folder. Nang certificate kinahanglan na training na mga matrix na tanan ha. Na imuhang mga report ikaw mauni ana. So hala, ready na mo na itago ninyo gikan kantud nga mo apply na mo promotion. Kuan lang nako na sa tip lang nako na sa inyo ha. Kulang ka ng mga papila niya certificate la imo magdabuang ka mo na karon ha, I give you the tip nga tanan lihok nimo itagui na imong papel kay ayaw kay pag put sa panahon certificate available why imong okay. Sensi, 4 different kinds of acceptance. Upat imong na-submit, 5 imong rating. Kung tulo lang, 4 imong rating. Kung duha lang, 3 imong rating. Kung isa lang, 2 imong rating. Kung wala, share, wala. Siya, ticket. Pero na to, kahangak ba eh? 14 na. Next, objective 11. We are still in the community linkages. 11 na ta, madam. Slide number 30. Development plan based on the reflection of practice and ongoing for this is module 24. And speaker for this is Ma'am Ana Bonita Castillo, which is a very kanang pleasing kayo, baby kayo iyang tingog. Ganahan ko siyang tingog. Ma'am Bonita, pakanaan niya ko dito sa inyong kananan, ma'am. Okay. Means of verification. Okay. Individual performance and commitment review form development plan. Ipcrf development plan which is done during the time nga naghimo mo isat. Nag-isat mo? Hello? Naka-isat ba mo mga dear teachers? Hello, wala.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Nag-isat
kinahanglan.
po.
Okay, kung pag human yung isat, di ba maghimo ta sa development plan. Okay. So, mao na ang kinahanglan sa maestra. is iyahang development plan. I remember a while, naisa ka speaker ganina nga nag-ingon nga, naghimo ba mo, natakuan ba mo development plan. The development plan is not done at the end of the school year. Kaduhat tabi mo og development plan after making the ISAT, and then himo kag development plan, and then ang last nga development plan sa final Ipcrf. So ang kinahanglan nimo diri katong initial development plan nga gihimo nimo after doing the ISAT. Okay. The supporting MOVs. Mo ito'y pinaka-main ha, development plan. Duy, kung wa naghimo. Okay. I hope nga nakahimo tanan. Anyway, I heard yes, ma'am. Very good. Congratulations for that. Supporting MOVs, any document aligned with the Ipcrf development, such as number 1, reflection of one's practice during LAC session with proof of attendance. Karon mga teacher, kinahanglan kung mo-appeal tag LAC session, mga webinar, mga inana, at the end, bago man ta mo uli, o after, na naman, nakauli naman ta, maghimo di ay ta og reflection or insight of what we have learned or what we have assimilated for the LAC session. For example, today, pwede mo maghimo reflection karon, and then with proof of attendance. Ang inyong pwede ninyong gamiton itong inyong gisubmit gani nga attendance gani nga done na mo, done. I-screenshot ninyo to, appeal, i-print, i-appeal dito sa imuhang reflection. Okay, next is reflection, personal notes on coaching and mentoring and or mid-year review. Halimbawa, gitawag ka sa imuhang master teacher after the class observation, and then there is a coaching mentoring. Okay, naaba kay notes. Pwede niyo ito ikuan, gamiton. Next is personal notes, journal on division, school-led inset with proof of attendance. O kana, mga division na wide na no, katong mga national, katong mga regional nato, nadya kung kay personal notes. Okay. Una, kinahanglan gyud na kay notebook, no? Every time na ikuan mo na ako, na koy notebook dere, dakkan kayo. Next is certificate of enrollment, registration form. Kung nag-eskwela ka postgraduate, nag-enroll ka, kung na kay certificate of enrollment, magamit na nimo. Next, any learning material highlighting the improvement done based on accomplished reflection section. So, basig na imuhang himuan of reflection, then that is also included in the end. You can use that. Others, you may think of another MOB o unsa nang mga naa nimong available, i-annotate lang nga kana gyud mutubag anang objective 11. Okay, to the RPM, okay, so kinahanglan kati imong development plan iyahan nang na-approve. Okay. So next, discuss progress of the development plan with the rater to check whether development needs were addressed. So, kung for imong rating, kung naka-istorya nimo imong rater, and then needs addressing the development, learning up to resources needed efficiency unya ulit ang imuhang madungag po development plan lang diri sa buhang na provide 3 imong rating. OB can be sample. OB could be took a reflection on lock session with proof of attendance and personal notes on coaching and mentoring to merit an outstanding. So, kung duha ka lock reflection, isa ka ko isa ka kuandiri, isa ka certificate of enrollment, 3 efficiency. Halimbawa, dali dahil himo karon ha kay aron ano please share palangga isra kay kamud mo nang kato nga nakabalo na experience ani TV, radio-based instruction, book or journal authorship, contributorship, coordinatorship, daghang kaayo ni, chairpersonship, coaching and mentoring learners in competition, mentoring pre-service teachers, participation in demonstration teaching, participation as research presenter in a forum conference. Others, please specify and provide annotation. When I say demonstration teaching, dili appeal kanang nag-CO ang inyong rater. Ang demo teaching katong specially ano jud ka na kay memorandum nga mag-demo ka in a certain occasion. So murag wa may nag-demo karon nga wala man. Kanang session time, and then Community Learning Center as evidence by submitted and so gawas na ka sa ang imuhang involvement. Okay, 4. Perform at least one related work activity that contributed to the teaching learning process within the school or within the community ninyo or innovating. Satisfactory, or 3, perform at least one related work activity that contributed to the teaching learning process within the learning area department as even sa grade 5 level lang ba, sa grade 2, sa inyo labang level na 3. Unsatisfactory to perform at least one related work activity that contributed to the teaching learning process within your class lang. Yung tao nang imong nahimo diha ra gyud sa imong classroom para ra gyud sa imong mga bata. Pero kung magawas na ka sa imong bata, kay mato na ka sa imong grade level 3 na ka. Kung mo kawas diri na ka sa imong kuan sa school level nimo na 4. Kung magawas na ka sa imong school, abot na dito sa community, abot na dito sa district, abot na dito sa division, then that is 5. Okay. Efficiency. Needed any 4 of the acceptable MOV. Okay. Balik data atong sa kuan na halimbawa nag-demo ka school level lang, demo nimo gimuhang kas principal nga mag-demo ka karon kuan June 20 school level lang na siya. Okay, so that is 4 lang na siya. Okay, daghang kay mapilian na, dahil coordinatorship, mo gani gitawag siya plus factor. Okay, submitted any for the acceptable MOV. Kung upat imong na-submit, rating sa efficiency, kung tulo lang, 4, kung duha lang, kung isa lang, 2, kung wala, 1. May sabing wala, no, kay tagaan po tag 1. Lipod kayo siya, kay na ay 1. So, that's all. If you have any questions, I'm willing to answer all your queries with the help of the school heads and the master teachers. I do hope you are satisfied. Ay, 4:30 na. Thank you and good afternoon. Joy? Basig na sila questions, Joy. O basig na additional inputs sa mga coordinating principals.
Yes. And
Application.
our inputs.
Coordinating principals.
Our coordinating principals, Ma'am Marites Simobe, Ma'am Daiseline Benape. Yes, Ma'am, any sharing, any inputs? Ma'am Mobe?
Yes. Yes. Input na ko tanan, grabe naman tong input tao eh. No?
Share lang.
I would like to congratulate each and every one. Ang galing-galing, no? Lalo na si Ma'am Laila Carnese. Of course, the wind beneath my wings. Yan talaga ang inaasahan ko when it comes to academic. Thank you, Lai. Thank you all the master teachers for doing the challenges of being a discussant. I think you have already shared the inputs. Kailangan din naman sa mga teacher magbasa din sila. Hindi lahat pwede ibigay. You have to discover also. You can read, you can download the modules. The 12 modules na sa PPST. 12 po yan. Ha? Tama ba, Kulay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, basta
12.
ko,
Okay, 24.
kailangan 24. Oo, 12 indicators. So, magbasa mo pag somehow or really would really help you. Ako gi-download na ko ni tanan. Ako ning gibasa, sige ko mayra. It's because kailangan ko din malaman kung ano ba talaga ang hinihingi dito. Kasi our profession is very demanding, no? Very demanding ang field ng ng education. So we wanted ourselves to grow graciously as we continue with our profession. No? Dili ta pwede maging stagnant. When you are a teacher, you have no right to be stagnant. Just to be contented kung ano na, labi na nagtulo sa grade 1, dili po pwede grade 1 rapod ta kanunay, no? Kanang usay po makatawa na lang ta kaya pag kinder teacher mo rapod intan og mga kinder, mga buutan kayo, mga itoy. But siguro na ihan lang tong na acquire ang childlike attitude, but yung professional side of a teacher dapat lamang gid ta kay teacher gud ta, na that is what is expected of us. So gwapo kaayo actually kung imo lang yun siyang basa, imo lang yun siyang ma-internalize. That's the beauty of the PPST, no? We are guided, the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers. So kanina yung maestra, di na yun basta-basta. Kaya na yun siya standard. Dili lang to ba? Mao na to. I remember when I came to DepEd, that was 30 years ago, teacher 1 at that. Mangupira mi sa amo ang nang unsa na nga kalimot ko ng RPMS, dili man RPMS sa una, dili man Ipcrf. O pass. Mangupira. Bila imong grado parehas sa grado this time di na po pwede yan, that you have to showcase your accomplishment. That is why ang kaning PPST kung imo gyud siyang basahon, it is aligned na kung unsa ang gipangayo dito, what is expected of us, unsa dapat atong makabot, what we know and what we want to learn, no? What we want to establish as a teacher, unsa man gyud dapat gyud ang maestra sa public school, mo na siya nindot kaayo, nindot. Nabasahan na ninyo, ma-download man na. Ma'am Laila is willing to share the all the contents na siya iya man punigikan kanin akong gipang print nindot kaayo. So I hope dili lang ta mag-settle kung unsa tong share ganina. Now we have to have also our self-study. Kay mao naman ni ato ang sundanan, tamdanan naman jud ni nato hangtod sa hangturan kung dapat sa DepEd unless na po yung mga bag-o. But for now, this is the best. This is the best for us. This aligned to our performance. Nindot kaayo. Okay? Mora to. Iganahan ko ganira kung paminaw although naka-off ang kuan kay nagsigit kong trabaho diri napod ko mga zoom but akong dalunggan jud ang isa padulong diri sa RPMS sa PPST. And I really congratulate each and every.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Obe, for that learning for that message and inputs. And now, one of our participants will share to us her learning insights of today's session. Let's all welcome Ma'am Leia Maratas, Teacher 3 of Artemio Loyola.
Good afternoon. My respect to our TSDS, Dr. Junita Ipolentinos. Good afternoon po, ma'am. And of course, to all the administrators who are present this afternoon, to all the master teachers of the district, and to my fellow teachers, maayong hapon. I was told to give the insight. Asay ko, karon na jud ko na yung and this is going to be impromptu po. And since this morning, I was also listening just like what Ma'am Obi said, the PPST modules are actually a reiteration of the teaching learning of the education. With that, despite the new normal, despite the new landscape, the educational landscape brought about the COVID-19, we still continue with the same learning, although this there we have to, and that is learners. Sila yung pinaka-rason why we are actually in the institution. So yung pinaka-punto why we have to be very serious despite the situation we are in. With that of the others, we will have this ratios with them whenever we have to do our we have to create our UHP and all those learning resources. We're trying to reach, but we have the learners to always consider po. So with that, we are presenting and the updating of the Ipcrf. Rest assured po, as one of the teachers, that we will have this. We will have to relearn if we need to relearn. We have to always think of those things na among the learn today. Thank you so much po and good afternoon.
Yes, thank you very much, Ma'am Lay, for the shared insights. And now, let's now have the distribution, the awarding of certificates. Given by the teacher 1 of Baracayo Integrated School. Chan.
The teachers first. Aduh. Nawala ang net.
Naalang iya ko. Basahan na lang. Hello? Madungog ni ma.
Naa ma, madungog mo, naapod inyuhang nawog, kita.
Wala.
Ah.
Send ka niya. Yan, wifi na lang ko na. Connect sa wifi.
Hello po, pwede kumuhang yung on cameras for documentation.
Okay. Okay na na. Wala.
Wifi lang sa na-connect.
So wala pa.
Saan dito na sa mag-download? Wifi na lang yung ikuhan, pero mag-open ng Facebook, hindi na dagat.
Kana?
pa-open na. I will have parting of
Eh, oh, sorry.
Ma'am, na-off na dire? Gusto naman. Okay na?
While waiting po sa ating distribution, malihog po on sa camera for my documentation po. Thank you.
Okay, to our district supervisor, Mamida, to the school administrators of the group 1, and then the fellow teachers, good afternoon. So at this point, we will have the awarding of certificates. So first, we will have to award the certificates of participation to the teachers. So I will read the citation. I'm just waiting. Oh, dili ma-open. Wala, di ma-share. Among net diri nagkamang. Di ma-share ang citation, ang certificates. Nag-loading pa.
Sige lang, Ma'am Lid, while waiting sa imo, mag-pictorial po ako for my documentation po.
Okay.
Usahan na lang, Lid.
Yes po. Yes
Open
po.
pa po.
Wala pa na open. Wala pa na open.
Palihog ko on sa camera, please. Mga
Okay.
ma'ams and sir. Palihog ko. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Another batch. Napay wala ka on sa camera. Si Bobby Kate, si Ma'am Rachel, si San Miguel. Palihog ko. Okay, ready? Okay, ready? 1, 2. Give 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay, another smile. Last 1, 2. Okay, thank you, Nana, Ma'am Led.
Yeah, certificate for the teachers po ito ha. Nauna muna. Certificate of participation. This certificate is presented to for his or her active participation during the district virtual training matrix on PPST modules 9, 3, 13, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, and Ipcrf review via Zoom meeting conducted on June 2, 2021, given at Artemio Loyola Elementary School, Pida District, Turil, Davao City, 2nd day of June 2021, signed by Yanida A. Polentinos, Ed T. PSDS. That is for the certificate for participation for the teacher. We have Ma'am Desiline, Ma'am Mobe, and Ma'am Marina Morales. So I will read the citation. Certificate of recognition is presented to Desiline A. Boinafed, Marina Morales, and Marites Mobe for her commendable contribution as coordinating principal during the district virtual training matrix on PPST modules 9, 3, 13, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, and Ipcrf review with Zoom meeting conducted in June 2, 2021. Given at Artemio Loyola Elementary School, Pida District, Davao City, 2nd day of June 2021. Signed by Yanida Polentinos, Ed. So, other TWG. For Mamida, our district, wala pa. Wala pa na open.
Sa cellphone na mo ni gina-open kay di na pwede sa laptop. Di kaya. Nagkamanga siya. Ingrid pa, mahapon na magkapoy na nalubat na. Okay, bear with us. Virtual training matrix on PPSD modules on signed by Changing Manager, Master Teacher 2, Lila Ipcrf-Rpms-Ppst. Of course, another signatory here, coordinating
Thank you, ma'am.
Another certificate of recognition is presented to Lila Ipcrf-Rpms-Ppst for her commendable contribution as training manager during the district virtual training matrix on PPSD modules 9, 3, 13, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, and Ipcrf review with Zoom meeting conducted on June 2, 2021. Given at Artemio Elementary School, the district the of certification here. WG, speaker first. Okay, another certification for okay, Joy M. Ayag, and the rest speakers for her commendable contribution as speaker during a district virtual training matrix on PPSD modules 9, 3, 13, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, and Ipcrf review with Zoom meeting conducted in June 2, 2021. Given at Artemio Elementary School, Pida District, Davao City, 2nd day of June 2021. Signed by Unida Polentinos and TPSDS. So another, some more? So another certificate of recognition to technical working group. Wala pa na open. Wala pa na open, no? Wait sa ta. Oh, wala pa man na open. Kaya ba na? Nagkamang. Wala pa dito. Ay, basta na. Watch na. Okay. For TWG, Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is presented to blah, blah, blah. For her commendable contribution as member of Technical Working Group Training Matrix on PPSD modules 9, 3, 13, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, and Ipcrf review with Zoom meeting conducted on June 2, 2021. Given at Artemio Elementary School, Pida District, Davao City, 2nd day of June 2021. signed by our PSDS, Unida Ipolentinos, ED. Now, for the watch advocate, so based on the attendance for today, we have 3 attendees this morning. We first top 3, no? So in the morning, so certificate of ano siya, ha? I will read the citation. So this certificate is presented to, I will read the 3 names. Juan Mog, Paulo Boal, and Wensil Ramos. For observing watch, meaning we advocate time consciousness and honesty during the district training on PPST and Ipcrf review, given the 2nd day of June 2021 at Artemio Loyola Elementary School. Of course, this to be signed by our district supervisor, Ma'am Leonida Ipolentinos, ED. That, and then the same thing in the afternoon, we also have first 3 attendees. So it goes to Joy M. Ayag, Silva Colita, Leah Marata. Okay. Clap for all of us. Daw sa grupo? Okay, sa group 1. So this is the group 1. Some more. Ito pa. No more. So thank you. Mauna, since Joy will take over.
So next, to give us a challenge and a message, may we call on our district coordinating principal for Ipcrf, Principal 3 of Piedad Central.
Hear me now. The thing that we do, just like what Ma'am Arata said, Ma'am Leia, do not lose focus or lose sight of the end user of everything that we are doing. It is our learners. Ginagawa natin ito para sa kanila. Lahat na ginagawa natin ay para sa kanila. So, when we are aspiring to become better version of ourselves as teachers, we will be beset with discomfort. Kasi bago of the last black man in San Francisco, year 2019. Napakaganda ng sinabi niya. We have to embrace the discomfort, but along the way, when we master everything that we do, because we are doing this every day, my advice, especially to those new teachers, wag tayong tatamad-tamad. Sa DepEd, pag tamad ka, mahirapan ka. Now, remember, our profession is not only by chance. Dili ni basta-basta istra na a vocation given from above. Not everyone who aspires to be a teacher has landed into DepEd. Na? Yun ang ilagay natin sa ating isipan. So, gaano ma-challenge ang mga ginatin sa field? Kasi madami, napakarami, especially that murag wala na takasabot sa kadaghan. But do not lose sight. Again, I said, do not lose sight of your purpose here. Bakit naging teacher tayo? Because sa ating mga mag-aaral. Na? So, how are we going to grow professionally? We have to attend seminars, trainings, and be mindful of the time. Na? Kanina, may 3 teacher tayo na maaga. They are rewarded with watch. Na? We advocate time consciousness and honesty. Kailangan natin po yan. In order for us to grow, dapat time conscious tayo. Pag sinabing call time is 8 o'clock, huwag nating idahilan na late maghuko kay hina connectivity. You know already the situation of your particular area. You have to find ways and means. Na? So I am saying this, it's because you really want to do something beautiful. We want to really do something good in our learners. Na paano natin magagawa yan? With all the inputs, lahat na sinabi na, magagaling lahat. But for more, we have this. Kasi pag sinabi na, if you want to do something, we always find way or many ways. But if you don't want what you are doing, you always find excuses. Again, let us bring sunshine into the lives of our learners. And we can only do that if we do our work sincerely, dedicatedly. No? So, pag nag-apply tayo sa DepEd, lagi natin sinasabi, how about if will be asked to perform or render extended time beyond official time because there is a need for you to do that. Mana dyan ang applicant, yes ma'am, okay dyan kay ko ma'am, I'm willing. No. Let us always remind ourselves that DepEd sometimes, hindi naman lahat ng oras, no? Meron din naman tayong time para sa family natin. So, let us work together, no? Give this our life a chance to change, no? Let us give our lives a chance to change, to be better, no? Let us grow in our profession. Let us be sensible, realistic, and we work towards the aim of our education. Instill that learning is our passion. Learning and teaching is a passion to us, teachers. So I hope na, gaya na sabi ko kanina, this is a challenge. Basahin natin po yung 12 modules and 12 indicators para mas lalo natin itong talagang ma-embrace ano yung nilalaman doon. If nabasa ninyo yan, lalong-lalo mong mamahalin ang profession na pinili natin. Again, hindi ito by chance. Ito ay God-given vocation. So let us love our work, no matter how difficult, because there are people there, out there who are waiting to be in the public school. Kita na natadiri, ato na lang yun yung panindigan. So, we are guided already with the PPST. Parting wapuha ang design sa PPST. So, I hope and pray that it does not end here. Alam na natin, napasok na sa isipan natin, but it will not end there. We'll do it into action. No? We'll perform everything what is demanded or what is expected of us. So, God bless everyone. Happy afternoon para makapahulay na ta ug malain na pud ang kumbate. God bless, mabuhay ang Piedad District.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ay, wala kasi dyan. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Mobe, for your challenge, no? Imuhang message. Sana all teachers are challenged. Challenge na bata. So at this point, wala man gud si Joy. Ako sa ning puli. So let's hear a closing message from our principal of Bactolusa Elementary School. Let's all welcome Ma'am Herbelinda Bastian. Hello. Nadungag ba ako? Okay.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Ma'am.
My respect to our PSDS, Dr. Leonida A. Polentino, the different school heads of Group 1 master teachers, fellow government workers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Talents Derino. It's such a good work that our MPs lead by Ma'am Laila Spiat-Carnisi able to come up with this Slack session of Ppst and Ipcrf with the guidance of the coordinating principals, Ma'am Movi, Ma'am Buenafe, Ma'am Morales, and approved already by our PSDS. And she able to utilize all MTs will be facilitators and will show off their skills and talents, and they are. Congratulations, master teachers. You really speak in behalf of all teachers of Piedad District. All that has been discussed by the speakers are tasks that we may consider every day as our work teachers. You always positively done it, but it must be documented. What you planted as the start of the school year and start of classes till the end of the school years, all this evidence must be reflected in your Ipcrf. Then, this is the time you will harvest of what you sow. How to validate MOVs of Piedad will not only see the dark of the papers, but also the whites as background. Sir Tim, Zahid, just do your work, follow the requirements and the tools of Ipcrf, love it with the heart, then you can do it all, teachers. Surely you can submit on time. What is your score? Is your performance? You are in good hands with the MPs of Piedad District. Remember always that learners are our main client that needs us teachers. God bless our endeavors and God sees all our work. Congratulations, facilitator, really shared your expertise. The field. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Cooperating with us. Hopefully you get from the training that we have today. For now, bye everyone. Thank you very much and God bless. Open the camera. Ayun na. Okay na, bye-bye na, bye-bye. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Salamat sa
God bless
tanan.
everyone.
Salamat sa tanan. Master teacher, salamat sa tanan. Tanan.
Guarantee ko no, di ko ba lumuon dire. Ako papalo.
Uli
nagbatalusa, Joy. Uli nagbatalusa.
Gani. Ugma, duty.
Mulib na ko ha. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. God bless, God bless. Wala pa si Joy. Bye na.
Ay, dito, M. Okay.